Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome to this episode of Mugscast.
Today, we're talking about Spider-Man Homecoming as we finish up our run through all the live-action Spider-Man movies leading into No Way Home. Cheers.
Spoiler-free.
Yeah, we got to do spoiler-free for this.
I mean, no matter what, you're going to have to watch this.
This is very recent.
This is very recent.
You're not watching No Way Home.
Yeah,
if you do, I will track you down and kill you.
Yeah, like, this is important. This is.
You know, my brother watched the Demon Slayer movie without seeing any Demon Slayer. It's because his girlfriend wanted to go, and he went with it. But still, like, come on.
Yeah, you should have definitely watched.
This is unacceptable. All right.
So, I'm gonna say, like, right off the bat, dude, I fucking love this movie.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I fucking adore this movie. Like,
yeah.
I don't watch it enough. I actually forgot how enjoyable this movie is.
I've seen it maybe like 2 or 3 times at this point.
But it's really enjoyable. It's still so good.
So I mean, it's definitely
especially like there's like 3 or 4 scenes where I'm like, oh, like
it's definitely more of a comedy than either. This is like heavily lighthearted, like super.
There's definitely some dark moments, but
they're very like
dark moments.
They're very like, but they're also like, you know, like there's a dark moment, you know, like when he's in the building, but then it becomes super hopeful like it's always it maintains the tone.
That's we're not gonna get into that yet. But
it maintains the tone like very well. Yes,
it does.
So
that's it sets up for what it's gonna be right from the gate. You know what you're in for, which is great. You're in for a very innocent, childish Spider-Man. Because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, well, not right out the gate, because we start with... Well, we can't talk about that. We're still doing...
No spoilers.
Sorry. This is a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great
very solid movie.
All
right. Just watch it.
Watch it. All right, so there we go.
And then you can come back afterwards. And also,
spoilers.
You know, if you are watching this and you enjoy it, leave a like.
I'm not even going to say that.
Subscribe.
Yeah, you can.
By
the way, I have an idea. For later, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
I have an idea for a video.
When we reach 100 subscribers, we're doing a sex tape. So,
Jesus
and I promise,
Don't hold us to that.
On my mom. All right. Okay, so spoilers now.
So the start of this movie, so good. It starts literally with the aftermath.
That bothers me though, for some reason, is like the CGI. I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know why it's so like it's not bad. It's just kind of like mid.
It's off-putting.
It's like the contrast of the Avengers Tower as it pans down to the interior is like way off.
Yeah,
like
one side.
It looks like a video game outside, and then the inside is like, bro, I don't know what. It's not a big deal. It's just like the rest of the movie would hold up so well if not for that. It's like the one thing that just kind of.
It's because that scene's gonna be quick, but it doesn't take away from the movie at all. To me, at all, it really doesn't. But
no, it's not a problem. It's just a little weird. I don't know.
Yeah, but it starts right with the aftermath of the Avenger battle.
So
I do have a problem with this scene, by the way.
I forgot. It might be the same thing that I'm about to say. I forgot to look it up and find out exactly what it is. But this apparently ruins the timeline.
Oh,
I can't remember exactly what it is, but they say, you know, this is right after Avengers or whatever, and then it says 8 years later.
Yeah.
And apparently that was a mistake, and it causes some sort of timeline problems because something happens that in there, and it's like it totally fucks it up, and they haven't fixed it.
I don't remember what it is either, but I remember reading about it. But the thing that I hate about this scene a lot is Tony Stark can be a dick.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, he can be a dick, but there's no way he would put these people out of
work.
work.
I wrote, it doesn't make sense. It seems like if it was Tony, he would just pay them off and say, get on your way and we'll take over.
Nah, and I hate that.
So that's why I was thinking,
I hate the scene.
The only problem is I was thinking like, okay, what would be a better thing? Because at first I was like, maybe he needs like Tony. Maybe that's like a big part of his thing. It's not really. It's just that he kind of uses it to bond with Peter in a way at the end. But it's really unnecessary. It doesn't need to be Tony.
Yeah.
It'd be great, you know, if Hammer wasn't in prison. If it was Justin Hammer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But damage control isn't like his thing. But if it was something like that, another like big corporation like that.
It should have. But yeah, for them to have Tony come in here.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
No, to me either. He would have absolutely 100% paid.
But I wonder if I think maybe the suggestion is that Tony just made a deal to like fund damage control. Maybe he doesn't know what's going on.
I think that is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but then I just don't like, you know, they make it out to be like it is Tony.
Yeah.
But it's obviously
because they literally
not.
say, "Oh, we'll take it up with our boss," and then boom, it cuts to Tony, and you're like,
yeah, and it's like, it's definitely not, and it cuts to him like handshaking, like he's making a deal. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's directly Tony. But I mean, come on, Michael Keaton, so good.
Yeah, amazing.
You know, he's right. I overextended myself.
And then yeah, dude, that punch,
so good. It's like classic.
It's good. It's very good.
So then 8 years later, and skip the origin story. He's already Vulture. everything. I mean, that is his origin story technically,
yeah.
but like, they don't show him making the wings or anything. He's just Vulture. And then we get like the theme music with the title cards, and this is a great theme. I still think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is like better, but this is great, and it's fun to incorporate the theme, like the original Spider-Man song.
I'm already saying this. No Way Home's theme is definitely my favorite one. I don't know if you've actually seen the trailer for it.
Oh, you're saying the new one.
The new one. Because in the trailer, the one that plays in the trailer, I fucking love that theme. Because it's basically like the Spider-Man theme, just revamped in an orchestrated fashion. Oh, it's so nice.
I just realized I put my mic down, so nobody heard it, but I haven't heard it. No, I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know.
we get Peter leading up to Civil War.
So I said this to you before we started recording, but this is another one where I own the Blu-ray for this. I forgot I did, but I found it, and so I went and watched the behind the scenes. There's a director's cut.
Extended cut.
Have you seen it?
No.
There's a director's cut of this movie, and there's stuff in there. It's like it's a lot longer, like too long, so it makes sense that they cut out a lot of it. But there's some stuff in it that's like really great. Like there's a whole sequence of him like strapping the camera to himself. And he sneaks out of the hotel at night and like goes and has a party with a bunch of people like as Spider-Man, and he like ends up in the news the next day. And Happy's like, "You motherfucker, you're supposed to like stay low key." It's like really, there's a lot of really fun stuff, but like the way they cut it together in the movie is better. It makes more sense. Yeah. But there is some fun stuff in there. But I love. There's just a lot of great stuff here. Like he gets on the plane, he's like, Happy's like, "Is that where you're going to sit?"
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to him, like, moving to another seat.
Yeah, so the three things that I really, really like right off the bat with our Spider-Man is he's young, he's youthful, he's playful. Super young.
Let's not forget, though, I don't understand this. Biggest complaint that people had about, Andrews was that he was too attractive. Tom Holland is so attractive. I've never heard one complaint about that. Only Andrew for some reason.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I would rather have Andrew in bed, but let's be honest.
I mean, hey, whatever.
No.
After you watch the
shade
umbrella,
to you, Mr. Holland. You're a very attractive man.
The umbrella lip sync. I don't know about that.
God.
But anyway, so, So we get that young, like very innocent, playful, like, Spider-Man. Even better is he's still so young that. Like when he's on the plane, he's scared of the plane. He's like legit.
Well, no, he's scared of it because
it's the first time he's ever been on a plane.
It's just a great way to show he's poor. He's never been on a plane.
Yeah,
and so he's terrified of it. Happy's like, I think this might be in the director's cut, but Happy's like, you should probably get some sleep or whatever, And he's like, we're about to take off, and he's like, I can't. We're about to take off or whatever. And he's like waiting for the takeoff and everything, like a kid on the plane for the first time. It's really good.
Another thing is his suit, his starter suit. Hands down, best one because they do show it.
Yeah.
So I like it.
I'll point out, I did complain and say, Tobey's original like first suit. I was like, where did he get like this like hoodie with a spider on it? This one's a little bit more realistic, I think, because Tobey's was like a sweater with like the biggest spider you've ever seen in your life. His is like something I guess I could conceivably see being sold with like a little spider on it or whatever. But it's still like a little weird, I guess, considering Spider-Man doesn't exist. So, like, where's he getting a shirt with a spider?
I think he did it himself. Because they show us he can do shit. He literally at one point makes the web fluid in school, which is hella risky. But
very risky.
Very cool that he does that, though. Like, it's cool to see.
So, he could have made it. But, I absolutely love this suit. It is, like, it's still believably, a first suit that he would throw together, but still looks great and far better than Tobey's original.
Yeah.
So
we go through all the Civil War. I just want to skip over it.
Well, I love as well another thing where he's like, he's clearly like, again, it's a great thing that Amazing Spider-Man movies did is like showing, not telling in a way, where he gets to his room and Happy's like, did you put the suit on yet? And he like opens the door and he's like, I thought that was a closet. Yeah. There's more to my room. I was like, that's really great. Like, I would probably do the same thing. I wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? Like, if you've never stayed in a place like that, you're like, this seems about right. you know?
It's really No, it is. It's funny. And then the suit opens up, and I know that you say you like Garfield's suit, and I really, really like it. But I have to say, I really, really...
This suit is really good,
but... Especially the eyes, dude. Like, the adjustable, like, eyes that, like, move to his... That's nice...
Yeah, that's a great way to...
Emotion.
Keep the, like, animated, like... And it works for this, especially because... Like, it wouldn't have worked in either of the other movies.
Those eyes are way
but
too
this,
big.
like I said, very comedic and very, like... excited and energetic that Spider-Man is. This
is definitely supposed to be a much happier, upbeat Spider-Man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a at the heart of it, it's a high school coming of age movie. It's not a some dark like Spider-Man movie.
No. And even better, I actually can't compare. Okay, so here's my thing right now. I'm gonna say this. I can't compare any of the Spider-Man. For their time, they're great. For their time. Some have held up better than others. But for their time, they're great, and they all tell three very different stories. More Tobey's and Garfield's are very close to the same. That's them becoming Spider-Man, becoming comfortable, and living their life. This one is, okay, so the reason I actually like this one is because it's Peter having to realize you need to slow the fuck down because he it's like I was saying in the Amazing Spider-Man. Sorry, it's like I was saying in the Amazing. A little bit, like I was saying in the Amazing Spider-Man, it's he's trying to think bigger. And he needs to slow the hell down and take it easy. And
you're talking about this one?
Yeah, in this one. Yeah. In this one, he wants to start big. He's like, I want to be an Avenger, and I want to, like, save the world. And it's just like, dude, chill out and focus on your neighborhood. Like, literally every other Spider-Man movie that has done.
Which he's been Spider-Man for only...
5 months.
8 months.
No.
Because it's been like 6 months since...
No,
when Tony finds him in Civil War, it's been 6 months.
Has it?
Yeah.
I thought it was,
and then in this movie, it's 2 months since Civil War.
I thought it was 3 months. I thought he says, how long have you been Spider-Man? He says, about 3 months. I swear he said 3 months because I remember he was only... 6. Double check real quick.
What else? Okay.
Double check while I talk about the next thing anyways.
Yeah, keep talking.
But I swear it's 3 months in Civil War because I was like, oh, damn, like he's like really like he's only been doing it for a certain amount of time. But I even wrote it here. It's been 5 months, but I put it with a question mark.
I know it's been 2 months since Civil War in the movie.
Yeah, 2 months since Civil War. Yeah. But another great little detail in the beginning, or not in the beginning.
Peter Parker has been Spider-Man for at least a year in Captain America: Civil War.
No, that's not right. Because he literally says when they talk, he says it's only been a few months. See, now I'm really confused. I don't remember it being a year.
6 months.
Okay.
So choice but to confess that he had been Spider-Man for 6 months. So he's been Spider-Man for 8 months in this movie. Okay, all right. Once we like really get into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree. Like, you can't really compare it to Tobey, but I think in terms of working, I guess in terms for different generations.
Yeah.
Andrew and Tom, they're different takes on the character, but they're both very relatable for. Yeah. Anyone who grew up past the age 20, of in the 60s, it's like no one's really relating to like Tobey's Spider-Man.
Well, a lot of people are, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're relating to themes of it, really. Like, I don't know if you're. I mean, I don't know. If you relate to Tobey, that's
good for you.
Cool. Yeah, good. That's
good for you.
I'm not knocking it.
So we got him in the car.
That's very insane.
They're in the car with.
Okay, well, so I was gonna point out. I don't know why. Like, he has his camera with him in Civil War, and Ant-Man grows, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go."
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't align because he says "Holy shit" in the movie, but that doesn't happen there.
Yeah.
And it in the movie, the way it's cut together, it happens as soon as he grows.
Yep.
In this, it drops and then he goes, and you don't hear anything. So I don't know. That's a little weird, especially with Marvel's attention to detail. Usually, it's
they definitely messed that up. That was definitely messed up.
Well, I mean, and they also apparently messed up the timeline. Maybe, so weird.
I'm surprised you didn't look that up while I was talking.
What, you want to look up everything while you're talking?
No, but I actually do want you to look that one up because I can't remember, because I remember it being like a slightly bigger deal when it came out. But I want to take a second. We're talking about Tony and Peter, and they're in the car.
Yeah.
And there's some really funny moments where he's like, "Oh, hey, say hi to your aunt." Like, dude, the way he's like trying to flirt.
Yeah, I know. He says, "Let's make a what is it? Like a video for your aunt, or an alibi video for your aunt." He's like, "Hey, May, what you wearing? Something skimpy, I hope." And he's like, "Sorry." He's like, "Yeah, that's inappropriate. Let's try that again." And I'm like, Jesus, he's married, or no, he's not married yet, but he's still with Pepper.
And then it's really fucking funny because he starts teasing Happy. He's like. Listen, Happy, don't make him mad. I've seen his cardiogram.
Yeah.
He's like,
did you notice what he says here, though, about Happy?
Well, what?
About how he got promoted? But he goes, he was forehead of security. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and it's funny.
I was so hyped to hear that.
Yeah.
I love little callbacks like that. And then you get like the whole, not a hug, just get the door for you. We're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Yeah, that's really, really good.
Great.
That was in sync again?
Yeah, just keep...
No, hold on. My notes accidentally went really high up. So then we come to. Oh, by the way, one thing that we didn't mention is Actually, it doesn't matter yet. Anyways, it's really funny to see an unhappy Happy, by the way. Like, he's extremely bitter in this movie. Yeah. Like, good God.
I mean, not in the second one, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
He's pretty happy about something.
Yeah. And so then we get Peter in school.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, I've got this. Okay. Homecoming.
Okay. Anyways, so then go ahead and read it real quick.
Homecoming is officially set in 2016, which is only 4 years after the 2012 set Avengers.
Yes.
But they fast forward 8 years.
Oh yeah.
So they're missing 4 years there. They were supposed to be.
Yeah.
But apparently they fixed it, I guess, or they created a new timeline and put it in there. They just can't edit it out of the movie, I guess. So it still says 8 years, but they've placed it in the proper place, which is 2016. But originally, when people looked at that, they were like, 8 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the problem. And he's texting Happy.
Yeah.
Ready for my next mission. He sent like the fist emoji, and there's like 17,000 texts that he sent him, and it's just like, ugh. Like a lot of secondhand embarrassment there.
Yeah, like, dude, read a room.
Yeah, for real.
But, dude, it's really cool. I think this is my favorite Peter Parker just because he's just a normal guy. Mm-hmm. Literally, there's no nerdiness, there's no coolness, there's no
Well, I mean, he's definitely a nerd.
I mean, he's not really a nerd.
He's a lot more of a nerd than Garfield.
I definitely say Ned is a far bigger nerd than he is. And I even got at one scene where I felt like slightly low-key embarrassed because when he says, "Oh, dude, I got the Lego set," and Peter's like, "Shh," like shut up, dude.
Yeah,
like,
but he still loves it.
Yeah, he still loves it, of course. And then he's whispering at him like he doesn't want anybody else to hear it. It's almost like he's ashamed of being like a nerd.
So there's
damn it.
There's a great thing here. The school news video.
I feel awkward, dude. Awkward. It's so awkward. Secondhand embarrassment.
There is a very long version of this that was cut.
Yeah.
And it is one of the funniest things I have seen in a long time. It is, if anyone has not seen it, look it up. It's probably on YouTube, of like Spider-Man Homecoming, like school news, like deleted scene or something. It is so goddamn funny. It goes like they do like little interviews and cut in things with the teacher, like Mr. Harrington is in there a few more times. And there's also a whole cut thing they kept cutting out where Mr. Harrington kept bringing up this like old relationship that he was in, and he was like, Tabitha, take me back, please," or something like that every time the camera was on him.
Because that sounds familiar.
They probably put it in like it was like a little edited down video thing that they made, but it's so good.
So I actually don't know how I feel about the Ned and Peter thing because they feel legit like friends, and I actually do like Ned. I'm not saying I like him over Harry. I do like Ned.
Yeah.
But, like, when he finds out Peter's Spider-Man later, I kind of just like, bro, chill the fuck out. Like, there's a few parts where I'm just like, you're being kind of annoying.
What?
We'll get to it in a second. It's good. It's a good dynamic, but
he comes up
it's
behind
specifically
him
in the party where he, like, gets kind of genuinely, like, pissed off at Peter because he's like, why'd you flake?
That's the best thing. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
But so he comes up behind him. He's like, "Come and build my new Lego Death Star," and then you just hear the girls in the background be like, "So lame," which is just nice and subtle, nothing crazy. Just like Garfield's, where it's like it's not Toby, where it's like, "You fucking piece, I'm gonna punch you in the face."
To stuff him in the locker,
it's like it's not over the top.
Yeah.
It's real, like of course, like that's very realistic, and I love how he's talking about the Stark internship.
Yeah,
and he's like. It says something about, doing a job. And he's like, what do it do? Like, give you a pat on the back and you'll do your job and it'll give you a gold sticker. He's like, I don't know how jobs work.
Yeah.
He's like, that's exactly how jobs work.
But actually, we skipped over the part where he was going into the school and Flash is like, "Hey, yo, Penis Parker."
Yeah. Immediately, and he drives off in his brand new car.
But it's so funny because this Flash, not better than the Amazing Spider-Man one at all. No, that one.
No,
that's
but he's
a
good.
Flash.
But he's a very
he's good because
version.
Flash is not.
He's not really.
Exactly.
He's nothing, really.
He's nothing. He's almost low-key just as big a loser.
Peter could have beat him up before being Spider-Man, quite frankly.
In Peter's element, of like the triathlon, whatever the fuck it's called.
Everyone likes Peter more than Flash.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, but it's funny because then they're in school answering questions, and Flash raises his hand, right? Yeah. And she's like, Flash
he says his answer.
Yeah, he says his answer, and she's like, "Oh, there's
wrong."
not." Yeah, and then she's like, "Flash about being the fastest." I can't remember the exact line, but I'm like, bro, what a...
But also, he says the answer. He's like, 72 divided by 3. And she says, wrong. And he goes like, what? He's like so confused that it's wrong. He's like, how could that be wrong?
Yeah.
Like the look on his face is great. And yeah, Peter's a genius again because he's not paying any attention and he just looks up and immediately answers the question
he looks at the
perfectly.
board and he's like, oh, okay. And like,
it's like seconds,
exactly what's going on.
He's watching videos of Spider-Man for whatever reason.
He's making the web fluid too.
It's like he's Googling himself or something.
Yeah.
He's like obsessed. He makes web fluid and all that, which is like... that's and then he just shoves it in there and we never see him take it out again, so it's like, okay, it's definitely like his desk. If anyone finds that, they're gonna be like, Peter Parker, web fluid, So, but at least he's not dragging out a tray. Doing web.
The thing is, I just want to think like he takes that shit in his backpack or something. I don't know. Whatever,
you would like to think so, but I mean, they don't show it, I guess.
And then he's crushing pretty hard on.
Yeah,
Liz.
they're both staring at her.
Yeah,
and they're clearly so obsessed because like, is that a new top? And Ned's like, no, we've seen that top before, but not with that skirt. And it's like, okay, it's a little much.
So and then we get to see.
I love that, though. I don't know. We didn't really talk about it in Amazing Spider-Man, but people always thought it was weird. Like that one singular moment in the start where Peter walks up right before the bullying scene, and he takes a picture of Gwen when she's like not aware of it. And they're like, oh, he's a creepy stalker. No. And this, they're staring at her. They clearly stare at her and watch her every single day of school constantly. They're not taking pictures of it, but they are very focused on her to the point where they know exactly her outfit. It's like, it's very specific. But yeah, what were you going to say?
Well, I actually like, or not like, or sort of like, about MJ.
Yeah, MJ. I don't know. She doesn't have a name before then, so we're just going to have to go ahead and say it. Spoilers.
It's Michelle.
Well, Michelle, whatever. But we'll call her MJ.
But it's MJ.
Because you don't know her name at all until the end.
Yeah. But the thing that I don't care for is they decided to call her MJ. Had they gone a different route, that would have been fine.
I don't give a shit. She's not MJ. It's just like when we talked about Amazing Spider-Man when they... do like not my policy or whatever. It's like a nod. She's not Mary Jane, but it's just a reference. It's like paying homage to the thing. So they're not doing the same thing again, and they're doing a whole new character, but they're just gonna but reference it. It's just kind of fun.
So the thing that I actually like is in this movie, she's like scrumpy as fuck, like no makeup.
She's like, you guys are losers.
Yeah, but she's like I'm saying like she's like super like
she doesn't give a
baggy
fuck.
Clothes. But then in the second movie, like when she's really trying to like get with Peter, she's got the makeup and she's all dolled up and she's trying to be like,
and it worked because now they're dating in real life.
So
I love that they're doing like the training for the decathlon or whatever.
Yep.
And there's a few great things in here, but the main one is like at the very end. I love when he goes like, "Ding," and he says something, and then Mr. Harrington goes, "What did I tell you about using the bell for comedic purposes?"
It's funny as hell. Funny as hell.
This movie is really, really funny.
It is
consistently funny.
Yes, and it's not forced or anything.
No, not at all.
So then we get one thing that I don't really care for because I criticized it for Peter, so I'd criticize it, and I criticize it for Garfield, so I'll criticize it here too. Is when he jumps over the fence.
Yeah,
and there's nobody around.
I guess he went out the back of the school.
Doesn't
I don't
matter,
know.
Dude.
I
know a lot of people that used to go.
I'm like Ned. He's like, I don't know how a job works. I'm like, I've never been to a real school, so.
But no, trust me. Like I used to go out the back of the school, and there's plenty of people that go out the back. Yeah. So for there to be literally zero people,
I want to point out though, on the topic of that, just because you reminded me of, they showed some behind the scenes of him jumping that. Tom Holland did like almost all of the stunts for this.
So did you ever see his training? Huh? Did you ever see his training for Spider-Man?
Well, yeah, it's in the behind the scenes. Like he does, he does a lot of stuff. But he was already super athletic. Yes. They talk about it a ton in the behind the scenes. They're like every single second they're talking about them, they go like, oh, and also by the way, we got so fucking lucky that he was already athletic. This was the best thing possible. He was perfect. He has like, and he could do like a standing backflip like in his audition, and they were like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So he does like almost all of his shit, and there is a lot of practical stuff here, but. Well, we haven't really gotten to it yet, so I'll wait a little bit.
Well, you know what I actually really like?
He goes to Del Mar's.
Yes. They have a funny little conversation. Because he's like, oh, how's that aunt of yours? And then
he says that to the other guy in Italian, I guess.
No, he says to Peter, how's that aunt?
Oh, yeah, and then he's like, yeah, she's a very attractive Italian woman.
Yeah. And then Peter's like, how's your daughter? And he's like...
in Italian, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's Italian. I don't know. I don't know
it
languages.
Might be...
It's some other language.
No, it's in Spanish, I think.
I don't know.
No, it's in Spanish.
I just assumed because it seemed like,
I think it's in Spanish. I'm pretty sure it's in Spanish.
Del Mar is like
I can't remember the conversation now, but
right?
I'm almost positive because I think he says "Cómo está tu hija?" and that's in Spanish. I swear. But anyways, so it's so he's like, get out. And he's like, no. He's like, okay, fine. Your sandwich is 10. He's like, It's 5.
No, I'm giving you 5. Okay.
Yeah. But it's funny because it goes to show you that not only does he know his neighborhood as Spider-Man, but he knows his neighborhood as Peter Parker.
Yeah. So then we get like the most unceremonious suiting up scene ever.
But it's actually my favorite one.
Yeah.
It's
there is no other suiting up scene. I mean, Toby has some, but Andrew never had them. Yeah, I mean, he had the point where he vanished and his clothes appeared on a tree, but that's not really the
Peter's
same thing.
Peter's is stupid, or not Peter's, I'm so sorry. Toby's is stupid because it's
everybody in the comments is going to be like, oh, wow. See, he's clearly the definitive version. You called him Peter just on purpose. Like, that's your instinct.
Toby's is stupid because he does the whole Superman thing.
All he does is, like in the middle of a crowd.
Yeah,
like multiple times. It's still not really a suit up, though. Like, you don't see him put it on, but you never do anyway. That's the whole point of this, though, is to make it as unceremonious as possible,
but
to
also show you how quick he can still put it on, because it's only like 20 seconds.
Pretty fast, yeah. But it's like, it's still a real person could do it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's believable. Yeah. And he doesn't even wear it under his thing, you know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah, well, he does a lot in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, he does.
But in this case, he keeps it in his backpack.
He hits the button.
Yeah, fantastic.
So fucking I love this suit, dude.
So just a lot of Spider-Man stuff. You don't get a ton of like swinging or anything. There's that first little part where he finally sits up and he jumps and does a little like web zip and stuff. It's really nice.
It's disappointing because that's exactly it. It looks really nice. Like I feel like if they gave him like a suit or the swinging. No, the swinging.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like if they gave you like a full montage of him swinging, they would actually do a really good job with it.
It's pretty great from what I remember at the end of Far From Home.
Yeah,
when he actually gets into the city, it's like
he's
using the glider and everything, mixing the shit in. Yeah, but that might be the most we ever really get of like
I feel
a
like
swinging scene.
Yeah, I feel like even in No Way Home,
like he'll probably swing in No Way Home, like in a city, but it's not gonna. We're not gonna get the swinging scene. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they haven't really done.
I hope they did it at the end of that one. Cuts it like with the opening, right? It's not going to, because
I hope that they. I would hope they just do it at the end of No Way Home. Like that's kind of like a thing. Like they do it at the end of every other Spider-Man movie. Yeah. Except for this one.
Yeah.
And so I would hope they do it for No Way Home to like end off that trilogy. But anyway.
So anyways, you get a guy.
Do a flip?
You know it's the same guy, right? And Shang-Chi.
Oh, is it really?
It's the guy that records the fight.
He's some guy, right? He's some YouTuber or something. I think he's what he is, some sort of like internet personality. Yeah. And then you get the car thief thing.
Yeah.
And
dude,
Stan Lee cameo.
Funny though. I like the guy's reaction. He's like,
well, maybe you should car, jackass.
It's my car, dumbass. Yeah. And he's like, Margaret, how's your... Stan Lee's cameo is great.
Yeah, he's getting in those drawers.
And then we get to see that even though he's been Spider-Man for a little bit, still not perfect at swinging. He literally overextends his rope.
That was a little weird, though. There was nothing for him to swing on. He kind of just jumps off and just...
I'm pretty sure they show you exactly where he hits it from, but he ends up hitting the fucking...
Well, no, but he just shoots it, and it hits absolutely nothing. Like, there's nothing in front of him.
I'm pretty sure it's off screen. I'm pretty sure he does it off
It might just be the
building.
angle of the camera, but it's like really hard to see.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Now you know where it's from, at least.
I do, yeah. So I love, gotta love, him eating with the mask up. That scene is just gorgeously shot, and it's like classic Spider-Man.
Yes, it is very much
eating with the mask
up. It's very classic Spider-Man, but also classic Deadpool too. Like Deadpool pulls his mask a little bit, or he'll try to eat through his mask. But anyways,
yeah. So, and then I also love, I kind of forgot that this was a thing. I never really thought about it or noticed it, but he reloads his web shooters here, which is why he like falls forward. But it's the first time in any of the movies we've ever seen him reload a web shooter.
So cool.
And he does it twice in this movie.
Yeah, there's the other time where he like ping and then he like reloads it. I fucking love it.
It's like actually like he's like popping out a clip or something.
And let's talk about how freaking awesome and what, like, he's still very quippy. Like, he's still very quippy.
He's like trying to call, Happy and still no answer all the time. Constantly.
Yeah, it's not even that. Sorry, I skipped ahead to the bank robbery. I just want to talk about.
Well, I mean, it's really soon. But.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. He tries to call Happy, and he says the conversation. He's like, "Why did I tell him about the churro?"
Yeah, because the lady bought him a churro. The lady he gave directions.
Yep. By the way, never mind. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
But yeah. So he stops the bank robbery, or he doesn't stop the bank robbery. He goes into the bank. The lookout guy, terrible.
He's literally watching a window. Yeah, the only entrance is over this way. I thought the same thing. So strange.
But yeah, Spider-Man gets in, and it's so funny because I love it. I don't know why. It actually makes me laugh. Where he's like, "No, that's not right."
That's the thing. Is like they had to sacrifice the guy actually doing. The believable thing which would be watching the door just for that scene, and it's like, okay, it's worth it.
So funny though. Yeah, he's like, no, that's not right. He's like, he's like, it's so good. It's good.
You guys are the Avengers.
Yeah, no, he says something else first. He says something along the lines of like, "Oh, that's illegal," or "You're not supposed to do that." And they turn around and he's like, "Oh, you're the Avengers."
Yeah,
He's like,
and then he has comments
yeah.
on each of them like, "Aren't you?"
So
like, he's
good.
like, "Iron Man, aren't you rich enough? Like, you don't need to be doing this or whatever."
Yeah. But one of the better parts is across the street, Delmar's on the phone. He's like, "Spider-Man is."
It's funny, but like,
I know.
Why
it's
would he
stupid,
say that? Yeah.
But it's still really funny because he's like, he's fighting the Avengers.
Yeah. In a bank, and so how the fuck did Delmar not die? When you watch that shit hit the front of the store, that whole story is incinerated.
He actually, it's funny because I thought that.
I'm sure he was in a back room or something.
No. Like, I've always thought about that, but the way it's shot, he actually would have enough time to run, right? Because it shoots straight, but actually hits above the store. Mm-hmm. Then it moves over to the left of the store. And then when Spider-Man, like, I can't remember, like, it moves or whatever, it streaks across the whole store.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still in the store, but, like, when it blows up for the first time, it looks like the entire store is incinerated.
But it's
and
only
then
the
it cuts back, and it's just, like, kind of on fire.
Yeah, but it's only the front. To be fair, it's like, it does look like it blows up, but I think what it does, fuck that.
It just looks really intense.
Yeah, it does. It looks way more intense than what it actually did.
So,
the robbers get away, and...
Yes.
So, okay. Right here, this is where he starts to see his how naive he is as a kid. Because he calls Happy.
Yeah.
And he's like, these guys have these guns. And he's like, I don't have time for this. You know, I'm trying to pack everything up. He's like, pack everything up. And the conversation completely shifts. He forgets to tell him about this important shit that was very important. And instead,
he did say it. He said it outright, and Happy just ignored
bitter,
him.
Yeah. But then instead of him trying to like press the subject, he gets very interested in like, you guys are moving? What? Like, oh, hey, I was supposed to join the Avengers. Like,
but I mean, to be fair, Happy is still like a decent amount to blame here because also I think a part of it, like the reason he lost track of it so quickly is because he's probably in his mind just like, well, Happy's just not going to fucking listen to me. He never does.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but
you know what I mean? So he's like so used to he's just like, well, at least I can talk to him about something. You know what I mean?
So then you have Ned sitting in the room.
Well, when he calls Happy, he's like berating the arm from Iron Man because he's like, you don't break that, it's worth more than you and me combined or whatever.
Meaning of course nice he still kept it.
And also, you know, Tony sold Avengers Tower. I think this is where it's like officially revealed is in this movie. I don't think they talk about it before then.
No, they don't talk about it. No, this is where.
Wait, no, that's not right because this movie is set in the past. They've already relocated to it at the end of Age of Ultron. They're already in. The facility. You're right. Yeah, but they don't say that they don't say that he sold
the Avengers. It. No, they don't. But they show you that the Avengers. They show you the Avengers compound in Ant-Man.
Yes.
But
they're
in this one, they show you the remodeled version that we get in Endgame. Yeah. Because he even says, oh, how do you like it? It's been remodeled, blah, blah, blah. And I'm pretty sure that's not how it looked in Ant-Man. I'm pretty sure like it didn't look the same.
I don't know. Yeah. So I guess, okay, so he crawls in and Ned finds out. But I thought what's interesting about this is I guess in this like version of the character, his spider sense is...
Nope, no spider sense yet.
Well, no. He has spider sense.
It's finicky.
No, he has spider sense, but it's purely just for danger. It's not heightened senses. It's literally just like danger only because Ned's not a threat to him, or else something would have happened.
To be fair,
because they show he has spider sense in Civil War. They show it, but it's because
they don't show the spider sense.
Yeah, they
in this
do.
Movie. I remember that was a complaint everybody had. It was
not in this movie, but in Civil War. So he has spider sense. It's just in this movie.
They don't show it in Civil War.
Yeah, they do. It's when he's fighting Falcon and Winter Soldier. We talked about it, because he goes. Something's coming at him from behind. And he goes, oh, like his eyes widen. And he goes, oh shit, and then he dodges. They show it. There's no sound cue and there's no time slow. It's just they show it because they didn't want to do all that. But it is spider sense. But he had no way of knowing it was coming. It was like coming from behind him. He's focused on something else, and then he goes, oh god, and then he dodges.
But no, at the same time, I also like to think. No, the suit wouldn't have told him.
No, it's definitely spider sense. But I'm just saying, like it like in the comics, or at least like the original comics, I think that's is literally just danger. That's all it is. Nothing else. Just danger. Yeah. In the movies,
and by the way, it's only danger affecting him, not danger affecting.
Yeah, exactly. So in the movies, in the most recent two movies, it's like heightened senses to a whole other degree. And this,
which is cool.
Just danger.
It's cool.
Nothing else.
I don't mind that at all.
I think that makes more sense. It makes a lot more sense than just danger. That how the fuck does that even work? You know what I mean? Not that any of it makes sense. It's him having abilities of a spider, but like, yeah, it makes more sense because like spiders, you know. They have, you know, like fucking a trillion eyes. So they have like super heightened senses.
Yeah.
In this case, it's just danger. So because at first I was like, well, why the fuck would he not notice Ned? Like obviously something would go off, but it's just because Ned's not
dangerous,
a threat to him. Clearly.
Ned catches him.
But this is a great scene. Yeah. The way he drops the Death Star, and you're just like, I wasn't expecting it either the first time I saw this movie. Obviously, nobody was.
And then we actually get a nod to Uncle Ben here because he says, "Oh, does your aunt know?" He's like, "No. Why the hell would I tell her?" He's like, "After everything she's been through, as in Uncle." Oh, by the way, I was wrong. There's no deleted scene with specifically Uncle Ben. I thought that's what I had seen. No, there's not an actual scene with Uncle Ben. There's a better nod to him, where I believe it's when he's getting ready to go to the homecoming.
And the Spider-Man homecoming.
Anyways, and they get ready to suit him up in like a suit so he looks fancy. And I believe there's like a bag that says Ben
I remember
Parker,
this.
like Ben something
I remember
Parker.
that.
And it's his initials. That's how they like were nodding it, not with
So,
an actual thing.
But so he finds out, and I love how Peter's like, "You can't tell him. You can't tell him." He's like, "Peter, gotta be honest with you. I don't think this kid keep this a secret. This is the best thing he's ever had with me, Peter." He's like, "Dude, I can't." And it's like, I love their relationship in this movie. It's fantastic. Ned is like,
it's good. The only time that I have a problem with it, I'm telling you, is like at one point he does seem like overbearingly like could end up fucking up the secret. I mean, it's much better in the second movie.
That's the whole.
I know. That's the whole point. He's supposed to be excited.
Comedic. It's like it's all supposed to be kind of a joke. They're really poking fun at the fact that like he can. Like out loud, basically, like say Peter's friends with Spider-Man, do all this shit, and like people don't know because it's like it's ridiculous. Like, of course, people would know, but you know they're kind of poking fun at that.
But you ready for one of my favorite parts?
Well, he also real quick before whatever you're about to say, he also goes out. And he's like, "So how do you do this and the Stark internship?" This is the Stark internship, you fucking idiot.
Actually, I'm glad you said that because it's the part that I'm about to say next is. Right now, like, the news is not shitting on Spider-Man, like, at all. They literally were like,
I mean,
he was trying to stop.
Not at all until the end of Far From Home.
Yeah, but they're like, he was trying to stop, blah, blah, blah.
Well, they're kind of shitting on him. The way they show a picture of him with, like, toilet paper on his foot, and he's like, what the fuck?
Oh,
you remember that?
Yeah.
And then they show him in the fight, and the way they describe it, they're kind of like, Spider-Man was trying to stop these guys.
No, it isn't like that.
They're just kind of like jabbing. They're just kind of
yeah.
jabbing at him. Like,
I mean,
they're not saying this guy's a shitty superhero or a menace, but they're just kind of being like, he's clearly doesn't quite know what he's doing yet. Like, that's the way they're kind of saying it on the news. But I mean, it's more realistic though, because they're like poking fun at him, but they're not like news nowadays is gonna be like, hey, fuck this guy. You know what I mean?
And then we got a montage of Ned and him.
No, not yet, because they're in the restaurant with May.
Oh, sorry.
And I love he casually drops whatever, or she casually drops like, this is like the 6th backpack you've lost, which is great. Like, especially if you play like the Spider-Man video game for PS4, they take that to a whole other degree.
Throughout his whole thing.
There's like 100 of them. And that waiter wants to fucking lay down the pipe, dude. He's like, what did they give her? Like rice pudding or something? She's like, I didn't pay for this. He's like, it's on the house. Like, and
he looks
you
at her
could
like,
be on my house too. That's what I call my penis. I call it the house.
Peter's kind of like,
he's like, I think he wants to fuck you.
Basically, I think he LARPs you.
Yeah, I think he wants to fucking fuck the shit out of you, Aunt May.
But yeah, now we get the Ned.
And he's, all sorts of spider questions. Do you lay eggs? Do you spit venom?
Yep. Isn't there a deleted scene? Where they're walking?
Up to Del Mar's?
No, where they're walking down the street and they mention Uncle Ben too. I think this is a deleted scene where they mention Uncle Ben. Because I remember seeing something like that. I think I saw the extended cut. I think on PlayStation, I think I owned the extended cut maybe.
I might have forgotten to write it down because I watched. There is a deleted scene where it's a little bit more of them walking up,
down the street,
but they just talk about Del Mar's. They walk up to Del Mar's and it's like destroyed. And he's like, "You were there? That's fucking crazy."
Yeah. No, that's still in this movie. But I'm saying before.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It's the version that I watched. That scene's still in there.
Is it?
Yeah, he does. He's like, "You were in there." He's like, "That's intense." Like, no, that's in there. But no, they're walking up to it, and I promise you, there's a deleted scene where they mention Uncle Ben.
Maybe. I might be misremembering. I watched all of those scenes, but I don't know.
Then we get the Captain America video.
Well, they're also right before that, when he's asking some of his questions in the background, you can hear the teacher is teaching them about the Sokovia Accords. So that got into the school system real fast. Yeah, because it's still 2016. Like, apparently, an unofficial timeline. This is 2016, so like this shit just went down. Yeah. Unless Civil War takes place earlier in the timeline, I don't think it would though. No. Most of these movies take place in the year they came out. Yeah. If they're present day. Captain America videos, and he's like,
I'm pretty sure this guy's
he's like, me and your gym teacher, and he points to the wrong side of the screen because he has to play. He's like, I'm pretty sure this guy's at work right now, but fuck it, we gotta play these videos.
I love that teacher though. Yeah. He's fucking funny.
It's Hannibal Buress. He's a comedian. And I think Mr. Harrington is a comedian as well.
Yeah, he's a comedian as well.
But they're just like they're so fucking funny.
Then you have Ned, who wants to be the chairman.
Guy in the chair.
Yeah, guy in the chair.
Mm-hmm. And Liz wants to fuck the shit out of Spider-Man.
Yeah, she does. To be fair, though, she also wants to fuck the shit out of Peter. They actually make that kind of clear.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing that I like is very subtle, but very awesome, is Peter's doing these amazing sit-ups.
Crunches, yeah.
Yeah, crunches, yeah. And then the teacher, he's like, oh, hey, good form, Parker. He's like, and then he starts to slow down and look tired. Yeah. Yeah, it's very subtle, but it's very good.
I love the way that she mentions it, and then you see when Ned gets up, the way you can tell he just like has no control over what he's saying. He's like, Peter, Spider-Man. He's like shaking. He's like, hey, Peter.
And
like
then,
it just comes so straight out of him.
His reaction is good, but it's not real good. Like the realistic reaction would be like, "What the fuck, Ned?"
Yeah.
But he's like, "Ned." Like,
yeah, but if you did say that, people would be like, "Why are you so freaked out about it, huh?" Or whatever. And then, yeah, Ned's just. Well, they she invites him to the party.
Yeah.
And they go and they pull up with Aunt May. And dude, Ned is so fucking.
He's fucking
everything
hilarious.
He's hilarious, and then May's like, Ned, some hats wear men. You wear that hat.
Yeah.
He's like, thanks. It gives me confidence.
Yeah.
It's like, why? It's such a weird, specific thing to make him wear a fedora, but it's amazing. And then they go in, and you got DJ Flash, DJ Flash, or whatever, and they're talking, and he says, he's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna do Spider-Man. I'm just gonna be myself. He's like, Peter. Nobody wants that. He's like, dude.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny. Dude, this might be one of my favorite jokes of the whole movie, is they walk in, and Flash starts roasting him, and he goes, that's not Spider-Man. That's just Ned in a red shirt.
So stupid.
And then he goes like, wah, wah, wah. Yeah. He like hits the horns. It's so fucking funny.
So then Peter goes outside because he's pretty fucking mad at Flash. Like, not mad, but he's annoyed. He's like, okay, I'm going to prove this fucker wrong. And then he goes out there. He's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And you can tell he's having second thoughts. And then that
I think
explosion
he would
goes
have
off.
gone through with it.
Yeah, I think he would have gone through, yeah.
Go off.
And the explosion goes off. And so we get probably like one of the funnier sequences is he's in the middle of like the, what do you call it? The non-city parts of New York.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, he goes to West Wing, and it's so funny, dude.
Well, he
just
does it at first, like, for a couple of swings, and like a couple nice swings, and then he gets to a football field or a golf course.
Yeah, he literally is like shooting. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's
like, I can't do anything here. Yeah.
But I almost like this better because we don't get a lot of swinging, but we get something else that Peter Parker is fucking amazing at, and that's like
parkour.
Yeah, like a fucking
just his agility.
Yeah, just his agility, and it's cool because you see him jumping all this shit and doing all this. He does.
The thing is like the thing about both of these movies is like they're really great, but they're only great for people who have seen the other movies.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you can't show somebody this as their first Spider-Man movie. You got to have the origin. You got to. I mean, unless they're super familiar with the character in the comics, but even then, you want to start them like in a live action movie. You want to see like if you're gonna watch a live action Spider-Man movie for the first time, you want to see the story. You know? You want to see it
progress.
So like this this plays so well to all of us like older nerds who have seen the other movies and are so well versed with the character.
As much as I shit on the Tobey Maguire movies right now, the one thing they did was thoroughly tell the story.
A little bit too thoroughly. Over 3 movies.
The one thing they did is thoroughly tell the story.
They went in like pretty in depth with it.
Now, so then we get to the
drug deal or the weapons deal. Sorry.
You know who Childish Gambino's? What's his name?
Donald Glover.
Yeah, yes. Donald Glover. You know what his?
Yes, Aaron Davis.
Yes,
Uncle Aaron.
Yeah, Prowler. Yes.
Yeah. Which is funny because I think it's perfect because they haven't gone back to it yet, but I think that by the time. And I was going to talk to you about this as well. I think, like, the next reboot they do has to be Miles, right? If they don't do Miles next, I'll actually be pissed.
No,
like, if we see another Peter Parker, I'm not wanting that. I'm not into that.
I have a strong feeling we're going to get another... I don't know anything about No Way Home, how it's going to end.
Yeah.
I have a feeling
like a
we're still going to get it. No, we're still going to get it. Yeah, maybe. But we're going to get a Tom Holland movie.
Yeah.
Still. And I have a feeling we're going to introduce Miles. And they're going to be close to the same age. You want to know why?
What?
Think about it. Maybe he didn't get blipped away. Peter did. It still gives him time to age.
Yeah.
And Peter not to age.
Yeah. If they think about that, which I'm sure they would.
I'm sure that's exactly the setup.
What I was saying is like so interesting is like he's a little young almost, or he's a little young looking in this as Aaron Davis. But by the time we eventually get to casting, like he already looks like nowadays, he looks a little bit like older. He's got like a scragglier beard. Like by the time they get to it, he'll be a perfect like Uncle Aaron to play the Prowler. Yeah. Which is also was them, nodding to the fact that like he's too old now, but everybody wanted him to be Miles when he was younger. Everybody was like cast him, and they missed their shot, but they're kind of.
But I agree with you, by the way. Next Spider-Man reboot, it's got to be Miles.
If it's not Miles, I'm really going to be pissed.
I want to see the young swagger of a young...
Oh, God. The exaggerated swagger
of a black teen? Yeah, dude. That fucking... Oh, my God. It's amazing. For those who... Please put that in there so nobody thinks we're saying something dumb. Like, I'm sure a lot of people know.
Everybody... Just look up exactly the quote that we just said if you haven't heard it. I'm not going to...
And by the way, that's not even said as a joke. In that moment, it said dope, like, dead serious.
Yeah. But I think just like, and I don't want to be like that guy because like people complained about, the Amazing Spider-Man rebooting already. We don't want to see Peter Parker again. So it's like, yeah, sure, it's fine, I guess, if they would do it again. But it's just like we've had 3. I think, and also it's the time because Miles is such a popular character right now.
Agreed.
I think it would just be weird in general if they didn't capitalize on that to make him the next one. You know what I mean?
So another way that I would accept it for it to be Peter again, is if we get like future Peter, like I'm saying, like 2099. What is it? The year? No, I'm talking about like the futuristic.
No, that's not Peter. That's Miguel O'Hara.
Oh yeah, that is something different. You're right. Or if we get the other one,
I think that would be like after Miles if they did it.
Yeah.
I don't think they can do a whole.
I think
it'd be weird though. I feel I feel like he's more of a. I mean, they could, but I feel like to do like a whole thing where they do like a whole trilogy. Like I feel like a one-off movie.
Yeah, one-off movie.
I don't know about a whole trilogy. I mean, I'm sure they could do it, but it would just be like. I don't know. If we
get the live action multiverse, I would love to see that Spider-Man in there.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure we fucking will. But I just think like I don't think the general populace knows like that he exists.
Same as a lot of people don't know about the Peter Parker clone.
Yeah.
What's his name? Ben. Oh, shit. I think it's Ben Reilly. No.
That's right.
It is Ben Reilly? Yeah. Ben Reilly, I think is what his name is. Yeah. That's like a Peter Parker clone or whatever.
They have to do the whole Clone Wars thing. Dude, so that would be.
They wouldn't even have to. They could just skip right over it. Here's the thing.
Oh, by the way, here's my clone.
No, here's the thing.
Oh, you mean from another universe.
No. Here's the thing. What they could do. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So with them opening up these rifts, dude, the possibilities are fucking endless.
The possibilities are endless in a world.
Now, so we get that dope ass
Shocker.
Yes.
And Aaron Davis.
There was a mistake in the movie, but they kept it in because he played it off really well. When he shoots the gun to show it off, it gets caught in his jacket pocket.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But it's funny because, so he goes to pull it away, and you can tell he gets stuck, and then he, quickly, shifts it out and pulls it and manages to, move the gun. But you can tell it got stuck, and it wasn't supposed to.
I love that after this, he's like, okay, yeah, these are cool. And he's like, you want to see this other stuff we got? He's like,
no,
just give me a regular gun. I'm not trying to shoot somebody back in time.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just trying to do a robbery.
Yeah, man. I don't need to. Yeah, I'm not trying to shoot someone fucking into another universe. And what the fuck?
What did you skip some shit?
I wrote something. Tom's phone.
Oh, his phone goes off.
Yeah, but Tom's. I wasn't writing Tom's phone. Time's phone. Time's phone.
Anyways, I don't know what the hell you wrote.
I wasn't writing anything about his phone going off.
Yeah, because his phone went off was his theme. The theme?
Maybe. I don't know. Is it the theme?
No, it's not the theme. But
that's Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's some song. It's like some pop song or something.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, it goes off. And he gets caught. And they're like, you set us up. And he's like, no, I didn't. Yeah. And so he starts to chase him. And again, he can't. Yeah.
He gives him a real shock. Let me tell you what. A good shock.
Relax. We save the puns for Peter Parker, please. So then he starts to chase him, and he does that classic webs the car up, and he does the web surfing.
Classic Fortnite, dude.
Oh, shut up, classic Fortnite.
This is the guy from Fortnite.
It is. Oh, you're right. It's the guy from Fortnite.
Yeah.
But yes,
they just straight up fucking stole it.
Stole it
straight from Fortnite.
So anyway, data mined it back in chapter 1.
I didn't want to go into it because a whole copyright thing, but let's be honest, they stole it. All right, go ahead.
No, but yeah, he gets the web surfing, which is cool as shit.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that in any other movies. He doesn't web surf any cars. He doesn't. No, I'm telling you, I don't.
I don't think he web surfs. He kind of latches onto a car for a split second. I think in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And he definitely holds on to the back of a car in Amazing Spider-Man 1. But it's not like it's not like an extended sequence of him
he's
webbing and getting dragged.
He has no other way to web. So he loses the webbing.
He falls off, and then he has to start
running. He's like, I'll just take a shortcut. And so he starts like desperately just sprinting, like not even like a run, like a sprint. To the point where he's fucking up and like he does like the whole like he crashes or whatever.
He also stops for the dog, which like wasn't attacking him. I was like, that's really unnecessary, but okay. Yeah, he crashes through the shed
and he lands.
Well, so just an interesting thing that I thought was really fucking cool. It's similar to the thing they did in Amazing Spider-Man 2. They had to have him on wires because this is practical. They had to have him on wires to drop him in there. So they had a stunt double on wires, swing up, drop in, and then Tom was hiding in the shed, and then he runs out. So it's like immediate.
Nice.
Just really like nice stuff there.
Yeah, that's good. But then
there's also the part where he lands next to the tent.
Yeah.
Well, before the tent, he's running through the pool, and he passes Ferris Bueller playing on the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, great movie! And then he keeps running. And then he lands in front of them. The
eyes are like bugging out.
Dude.
And they're like, what the fuck?
And he's like, hey, guys. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and they flip off the tent. It's so good. And at this point,
Vulture grabs him.
Future Shocker says to Old Shocker, I'm going to call him. And he's like, no, I think he says it earlier. He's like, I'm going to call him. He's like, no, don't call him. And then he's like, oh, I'm calling him. And he calls Vulture, yeah. And so Peter catches up to them.
He's
and then,
right about to get him, and then he gets caught in midair. Yeah.
And by the way, that Vulture suit.
We've already seen it at this point, but this is like a better view of it, I guess.
But it's like, we've seen it, but like to see it in action.
So we've talked about it with some of the other ones. I would say for the Tobey movies, none of the villains, are definitive like live action versions of the comic book characters.
No. Doc Ock was the closest.
I would say in terms of Electro, he's definitive for the ultimate version.
Yes.
That's like definitive ultimate version of Electro.
Yes.
Lizard is very close aside from the look. Other than the look, he's perfect. And then Rhino is like, it could be better. So but this is definitive live action Vulture. Like this is gonna be really hard to beat next time that they reboot.
Yeah.
Whatever, and have a new Vulture.
So good, dude.
This is like
really good.
Yeah, you fucking. I mean, Michael Keaton is pitch perfect casting.
Yeah, man.
The suit is phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, he's not bald, wearing like green tights.
Yeah, green tights.
So they nailed it. I love it. They nailed it. It's so menacing.
They did give him a furry neck, but it's because he's wearing an aviator.
It's like an aviator. Yeah, exactly.
It's so smart, dude. It's so good. I love it. I love every second that he's on screen.
Yes.
And it's such a simplistic design that works. It works.
It's not simplistic.
No,
but
it is.
I know what you mean.
When I say simplistic, I mean like it's like
it's just wings and a jacket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
that's
he's still very much human. He's very
but also human. It's not a backpack of wings. It's basically a miniature plane that he has to strap himself into.
Cool, dude.
Especially the one at the end is like a 30-foot like wingspan that he has to. It's like he's getting into a plane essentially. So he picks him up and his spider parachute activates
because he detects him. He detects him at a certain.
Rips him out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you about to get? I can hear the disappointment in your voice. So what are you about to say?
I don't like that he falls from that far up.
Oh yeah,
it's far up. It's far.
Bugs you a little bit. Does it arachnid you a little bit?
But yeah, it bugs me because like hitting water at that height is harder than concrete.
Let's just move on. We don't even need to talk about this.
No, here's why it bugs me, right? Because it's higher than the monument. It's higher than the Washington Monument, okay? But then they literally say, if you fall at this height, you're going to die. Well, that wasn't a concern when it was fucking water.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Either if you're gonna make them durable,
they're doing Minecraft rules.
I hate it though, but it's like if you're gonna make it,
if you can't handle Minecraft rules, get the fuck out. Everybody, real life should adhere to Minecraft rules. You hear that, God? Change the rules, all right? Minecraft.
But he doesn't save himself.
Take some notes out of Bojang's books.
Anyways, he doesn't save himself. Surprisingly enough, Iron Man saves him.
Yeah, Iron Man's suit saves him.
Yeah, Iron Man's suit saves him. True. It's still Iron Man. He's still semi-controlling it.
He's playing fucking Iron Man VR in the PlayStation. Is what he's doing.
So we got a nice little.
It's a 6 out of 10.
we got a nice little dynamic between Peter and Tony in this because just a conversation, but it's funny because he's like, how did you find me? He's like, yeah, did you install whatever in my suit, blah, 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 which that's going to play later, Tracker.
He's like, also installed this heater.
He's like, I saw, and Peter's like, oh, like his reaction is so good.
Oh, God, that is so good.
But, so Peter finds that tech and takes it with him. What else happens? Where were we at?
Tech? What tech?
The alien tech, the energy core. that comes off the gun.
You mean Peter?
Yeah, I said
Peter.
Peter.
You said Tony. So Tony.
No way, did I say Tony?
Did.
Okay,
we got
footage.
Yeah,
I don't think I said Tony.
You said it. That's
if
why
I said
confused.
Tony, I'm wrong. But
it was Peter. And
Peter.
I love though in this conversation you realize that Tony has been listening to every single message and voicemail because he mentions the churro.
Yes, he does. He mentions
so he knows every single thing.
Yep.
And so this is what I was talking about. You talk about Ned's like you're like kind of pissed at Peter for being flaky or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the best fucking part of this movie is that he's upset about it, but the next day
you're right.
They talk and he says one thing, and they're immediately back to normal.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. Like, it doesn't become.
It's not a Mary Jane situation.
No,
it's
you're right.
They're friends. They're high school friends. They don't give a fuck about they're
they brush
such
it
close
off.
friends.
Yeah, they brush it off. You're right. Actually,
and
it's very true.
never mentioned again.
Nope.
Maybe it's maybe that's gonna be the origin for his rage to become Hobgoblin.
Anyway, here's the thing that bugs me a little bit. How did Ned get back? How?
What do you mean? I guarantee you he has her phone number.
No. How did Ned get back? He literally said to Peter, "Oh, I'll just see you tomorrow."
Yeah.
And they don't get back in May's car. Assuming Spider-Man gets back on his own with webs.
Yes.
How the fuck would Ned get back? He didn't get a ride.
May.
No. So she comes and picks up Ned, but doesn't pick up Spider-Man?
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't come and pick up Spider-Man?
Yeah,
he hops in the car with the suit on. He's like, May, listen, I just fought a giant vulture. Shocker is great. I think this guy that they cast for, the original Shocker is like fucking Shocker. He's like perfect casting.
He looks good, yeah.
And then he's dead. But like he is
he deserved to die because honestly, I was enraged by his reaction, bro.
Dude, the way he talks though, like he's the accent,
garbage.
he's like, "What are you gonna do about that?
Yeah.
What if I let them know what they know on the outside?
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like,
me.
But then he's like, yeah. Like, I'm like, oh my god,
He looks like Jack Nicholson there. Like for real, like the Joker. You're like, I don't even know. I can't.
But yeah, the way he does it is it's so good, dude.
Yeah, and then I'm a little weirded out by the fact that like he didn't mean to kill him, but he doesn't give a shit about it. It's I guess it's a way to show.
At the end of the day, it's to protect his family. It's at the end of the day, he threatened his family by saying, "Oh, how do you think they're all gonna feel if I say something?"
But no reaction. Like he's just like.
Also, we forgot to mention this Mason. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's the Tinker, yeah. But it's just not even made a big deal out of.
Does he? I was thinking about this. He's in the second one, right?
Is he
not? Isn't he you would think that he's the person who would come back and who was making the stuff for Mysterio because there's a guy who's making most of the shit for Mysterio, and is it not him?
Maybe I don't know. Well, we're about to watch the movie.
We're gonna find out, because I was like, is it him? I think it's him. Unless it's just another.
No, I think it's another shitty guy. I think it's just another shitty person.
That's so weird though. What a weird why not bring him back? Because he's still free. And he has all the shit. But anyway. So, I love that, he's in... they do the thing where they're like, he finally pries the crystal out of there.
Yeah.
And it, shocks the fucking thing. And the teacher is, looking at his book. He's like, keep your fingers clear to the blades. Yeah. He does not give a single shit. And then they do their handshake, which is, so fucking, so much. It's so complex. I don't know how they memorized that. And
then they start to walk out there in the hallway, and two random guys show up in the school, and nobody bats an eye.
Nobody bats an eye. They probably vaporized whoever.
And it's so fucking funny because, again, this goes back to how fucking naive Spider-Man is. They don't know what the fuck he looks like under that mask, but he still ducks away like, oh my god, they're about to see me, and he ducks away. And it's like, you have a mask on, dude.
Yeah.
But it's still funny.
So. And then he's like, I gotta go after him or make sure they don't do this or that. And then Ned's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he stays behind and he's talking to the kid. And the kid's like, what are you doing? And he's like, and he's like, how are you? And he's like, chess.
Yeah.
It's like,
so random, but it's so funny.
Is that a good chess or a bad chess? Are you enjoying it? Do you like it or not? I can't tell. So he finds out, they're tracking him or whatever. And then he puts a tracker on them. Finally get, that's the first time we've ever seen, spider trackers, which is like a huge thing he uses in the comics. But, they have kind of like an in-universe reason for it, being that it's like Stark tech.
A lot of people hate that they're like, oh, he got his suit from Stark, but this makes sense for this Peter Parker.
Yeah, it does. I will say, in retrospect, now watching these again, they take the suit away from him and they do this stuff, but there is a little bit of like he gets a lot of stuff handed to him to begin with, and they do take it away at the end, and he has to do it on his own.
It's great.
But it's not like it's a bad thing, and it makes for some good like comedy. But like it's fun to see him do it himself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
that's great.
You lose that a little bit, but like it's not that big of a deal. People,
I like it.
That's their biggest problem with these movies is Iron Boys.
Yeah,
as they call it.
Fuck off.
It's not that big of a deal.
No, it's not. And even better, we still get that with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
But it's if you were nothing without the suit.
Yeah.
You know, so that's basically the same thing.
No one complains about that, but they complain about Amazing Spider-Man when they reword it. It's like come on,
the same
make
thing.
up your
it's
mind.
The same fucking thing.
Like you can't just go back and forth
honestly,
like this.
Andrew Garfield got a bad rap, plain and simple.
It was ridiculous. So then he's like, well, they're going to Maryland.
Yeah.
So
because he needs to get closer
decathlon.
Yep.
And
it's so funny because he goes, what is it? He says, "Oh, I want back," and they're like, "Nobody's just gonna welcome you back, Parker." He's
Flash.
like, "Hey, Flash says," and then he's like, "Hey, welcome back, Parker."
Mr. Harrington comes out. And he's like, "Peter, great to have you back."
Yeah, and they're like, "Flash are out."
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Flash is immediately out.
Yep.
And I love, but he's like on backup, I think, because he goes with him, and then they're in the bus, and they're like little question answering montage, and he's like, they're all doing answers like 22, California or whatever, and then Flash says something.
That's wrong.
Yeah, then he goes, ding, Flash is wrong.
Yeah, so good, dude.
Dope. What did I tell you about using the bell for comedic purposes? So they get there, and Peter has to pass on some steamy hot pool sex to go and do some Spider-Man-ing.
She's so into him.
It was an orgy. They were all going to have an orgy, and he missed out 100%.
Oh, well, wait. They have the discussion. Yeah, here they have the discussion.
She bumps into him.
No, not with that.
Oh, with Ned?
They
take out the
suit. They got the
training wheels
tracker and the training wheels protocol. And just a subtle sexual assault where Flash walks by and smacks him in the ass.
It's like
and Peter's like, "Hey,
what the fuck?" Yeah.
It's so funny though because it's like one of those things where it's like he's a bully, but he's not a bully. Like it's like one of those like friendly bullying.
Yeah,
it's like he's like ribbing on him, but not pissed off with him. Like wants to beat the shit out of him.
So, and it's like, I don't think Flash and Amazing Spider-Man was either.
Yeah.
He just got into a situation where like they were actually like kind of in a fight. Like he pissed him off. But like earlier he was just like, throwing a basketball at his head, like kind of calling him out. But he wasn't fucking, going out of his way to fight him. He only fought him because he intervened. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think my webs.
You got webs? You want to show me how to make them?
I think my notes skip around a little bit here, but he goes and he follows him, and he arrives at the gas station. Yeah, and then you get like the instant kill
mode. Yeah, which literally that's it.
Terrifying.
It's terrifying, but literally nothing happens until Endgame.
Yeah. Well, it's not that like they planned that. It's just it was a great way to call back. They were like, oh, we can use this. It was just I think it was just a joke in this movie, but he has 576 web combinations. Yeah. So that's like really like
it's actually
I think they just put that number and it's like what could you actually do?
I can believe it because there's been so many variations.
576.
Dude, there's been so many variations.
What? It has to be minute things like, oh, this one's split in 2, this one's split in 3, this one's split in 4,
it's possible. It's still a web combination. Hey, it's still a web combination. Borderlands says they have over 1 million guns.
My dick in your mouth is a web combination.
Okay,
Shut the fuck up.
Anyways, it's fucking Borderlands prides itself on its millions of guns and it's literally just tiny alterations.
Yeah, and that sucks though.
It does suck.
It does suck. I don't like that. I wish like I remember seeing the ad for Borderlands 3 and they're like 7 quintillion gun combinations, and it's just like 5 guns when you play the game that like slightly alter the way that you shoot. It doesn't really change anything.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that this might be the biggest reason. So for a long time, and I think it's going to be different now. Far From Home might be a different story, but I actually like this movie a little bit less than I used to. It's not that I dislike it now. It's just like I'm not as in love with it as I used to be. When this first came out, I was like, best Spider-Man movie. Easy. Yeah. Best Spider-Man movie. And when Far From Home came out, best Spider-Man movie. I
still think Far From Home was one of the best Spider-Man movies.
I agree. And we'll have to get back to it, but, because my opinion changed on this one. But
Especially, I'm not going to go over it, especially learning the little Easter egg you learn later on, bro.
Yeah.
That shit is mind-blowingly good.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, in terms of the suit, and when this movie came out, I was like, this is the best suit. I fucking love this suit. I still love this suit. But the thing that I have, a little weird issue with it that I have, and this might just be me, but the suit inherently and it might just be like the color grading or the way the movie is, it inherently looks CGI, even when it's real. Like, I was watching some of the, it's good because it blends.
Yeah.
But while I was watching something behind the scenes, I was like, that was practical? I could have sworn that was like CGI. Because the suit, it's just something about like the texture of it looks CGI all the time.
But I think it's supposed to look...
It helps it blend so well, but it's also, it just feels like less real. Like, I'm getting like
But I think that's what it's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be, right? Because, so when he puts on this suit, when he puts on specifically Tony's suit, it's supposed to be a very unreal, like a holy suit. It's supposed to be his God mode suit. It's supposed to be not grounded. It's supposed to be a very like badass version of Peter Parker, because when he puts on his standard suit, his porous flux suit.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem...
It's like, it's not.
What would be the point, though? Because then they do all these practical effects, but you can't tell when it's practical and when it isn't. For like 90% of the movie.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know.
So, like, then why even bother?
It holds up really well.
No, it looks great.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm saying it looks Homecoming. It looks really...
Instead of using Homecoming versus... Oh my God, it's so Homecoming.
It looks really, really great. I absolutely love this suit, but I just... You know, in the other ones, it's so practical. It's so, like, anytime you see him in the suit, you're like, that is literally Andrew Garfield in the suit, like, wearing it.
I don't know why I thought of this. I have no idea why. It's nothing. I mean, it has to do with Spider-Man. Have you ever seen a video of the kid who puts on the Spider-Man suit and he has his friend zip him up?
Oh, yeah, and the zipper breaks? Yeah.
And he's like...
yeah.
I don't know
classic.
why, dude.
That's a classic.
It's so fucking funny, dude. Oh, man, that's funny as shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to keep an eye on it Far From Home and see if I have the same issue, but...
I don't know. Far From Home, that I really love.
Well, because I mean, I think, you know, it's not because I'm not saying because it's a different suit. I'm just saying is like, I don't know if it's just like a one-off thing that it kind of looks CG in this or not, because it just feels like, and that's also I think in big part because anytime it is CG, it's him, because they actually had him mocap everything that they do. So, which is interesting. So this Spider-Man, in terms of like, especially when it comes to the CG portions of it, like Tobey's wasn't him at all.
No.
They just made some CG shit happen. Andrew's, I don't think they did mocap for that. So they again just made some shit happen, but they blended it a lot better than they did with Tobey. So like him, practical blends really well with that. Like the movements are the same. And this, it's like it's all him. It's the most that his performance has influenced everything of any of the Spider-Man, for sure.
But it portrays, I don't know, it looks
so
good.
like it's like, and you can see it too. Like the way he moves is so energetic and specific to him, and it's a very physical. He's a very physical Spider-Man. Like he's just constantly moving and like jumping and just like jittery, like ADHD. High school, like he's got ADHD, But yeah, it's just very that was the one thing is like that Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is very, very just like the Spider-Man suit, and it's also so real. It's just so tangible. Like I feel
see
like
what you're saying. I don't know. I don't
know.
I think I like his Far From Home suit better, anyways, just because it's black and red.
It's just it's the same suit but black and red. But yeah, I do. It is fucking great looking.
Where the hell did we leave off? Oh, sorry. So he's doing the gas station stuff.
Yeah, and he's
got taser webs.
Yeah, I mean he goes.
It's great because
he fights Vulture.
Karen. She doesn't have the name at the time, which she comes up with it later. I don't like it, but Karen.
The only reason you don't like it is because this movie came out before that was a thing. I know. So now it's like, oh God.
That sucks. But
but how could you possibly predict it?
So
those poor guys.
She's not stupid. She's like, you're very unknowledgeable in all your web. Yeah. He's like, he like kind of just like whatever. He just pushes it off. And he's like, just pick something. And it's funny because he goes to shoot it later. And he's like,
that Vulture.
What the hell was that? He gets so mad.
So you told me to pick something.
Yeah, but we get to see a lot of things. We get to see like the balls of web. Like he actually does like the web shots. He like
cool stuff
as well. There, that literally doesn't
Vulture,
come into play later.
What?
That literally doesn't come into play at all later. Like when he's using that suit, except for the web grenades.
Oh yeah. Vulture has he tethers the suit to the truck.
Amazing.
And you see what I believe is, I think it's supposed to be Dark Elf tech. They talk about it in the behind the scenes, and when they said it's like a mix of Chitauri, Dark Elves, and a couple other things that have happened throughout the MCU. But when they said Dark Elves, they specifically showed him using the little thing where he can phase through.
So
I think that's that. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I had always been under the impression that it was all just modified Chitauri tech. Not that it was stuff from all over.
Things, yeah.
Like it's
honestly didn't know.
Yeah, I had no idea until I watched the behind the scenes.
That's really cool.
There's a bunch of different like mixed in things from different parts of the movies. What's another? I mean, Dark Elves. There's another like. I
don't think we're shown anything else.
Something
Skrulls, but not before this.
No. Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Hulk. Shit, maybe Ultron tech or something. I don't know.
Well, it's something else. Ultron tech, but not until later.
Yeah. So he gets locked in the truck, wakes up in the damage control facility.
He knocked himself out. Yeah. Like
he jumped
what
so
the hell?
fucking
Yeah,
hard.
like he literally. I was like, what? I forgot that happened. I completely forgot.
Yeah, it'd be like if you lift your head up and you don't realize there's something above you, and you're just like,
that's exactly what it was. He was so desperate to do that quickly. But you know what's even better? If you pay enough attention, you can actually see him knock the pieces of the thing into the behind him. Like he falls through it, and it falls with him. Yeah, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, straight back up. So yeah, he's testing out some stuff. He's got the web grenade, split web, taser web. That was earlier, there's an Ultron bot head in here somewhere, yeah. I said.
Is it here or is it later?
He's like digging through some of the tech in damage control.
It's the Ultron. Yeah, it's the Ultron head. Karen. Oh, wait. Hold on. He goes through this, what we think is a very time-consuming montage.
Oh, yeah.
The tech. And
it's 40 minutes.
And she's like, how long has it been? Right? A couple hours? She's like, it's been 37. He's like, 37 minutes? Yeah. Like, dude,
I got to get the fuck out of here.
He's like, Jesus.
So, he gets out.
You find out about the energy core?
Yeah.
Where she's like, that's explosive. He's like, that's explosive. And he can't call Ned.
Yeah. So he gets out.
237 tries, by the way.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I love that he calls Ned, or just Ned calls him?
No, he calls Ned.
And you see Ned's phone picture, which is him.
Yeah.
It's so good. There's the most chins I've ever seen on a person in my life. It's hilarious. Such a great photo. They're at the Washington Monument.
I hope you don't skip over this line because it's funny as fuck.
The slaves thing? Yeah.
Dude, because she's like, it was built by, the guard. He's like, no, it wasn't built by, and the guard's like,
it's iffy. It's iffy.
Okay, it's so good.
And there's just a lot going on here. We'll start maybe speeding it up a little bit. I said we were going to be under 2 hours.
It's only an hour and 15 minutes.
We're running a little long.
We're doing good.
Yeah, he gets there. He's trying to stop him. He can't get in contact with him. It blows up, stops the elevator.
Yep.
And he has to go up to Washington Monument.
Which he's scared of, by the way.
Yeah.
He's actually scared of height. Like, he's scared of being that high up. He's never been that high.
Yeah, because I guess, he hasn't really been in, like, the city.
Yeah. He also hasn't been in a situation like this where he
hasn't been, like, that's what I'm saying. He's like, he hasn't been in New York.
No,
like,
he has.
But he's been in, where he's been is, like, suburbs of Brooklyn.
Yeah, lower end.
He hasn't been in, like, by the end of Far From Home. That's new territory for him. You know what I mean? So... so he's like, Jesus Christ. And I mean, it's really tall.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is him, like, they had him on wires, like, climbing up. They like, recreated part of the Washington Monument. Yeah. And it's like, it's his movements, climbing the stuff. It's like all him. And, it's really great. He gets up there, does that, move over the helicopter.
The leap of faith. That was his leap of faith, momentum. By the way. That was his leap of faith. You know how every Spider-Man has, like, a leap of faith from a height? That was considered his leap of faith. Like,
I guess so. Yeah.
That's exactly what that is. Without actually him being like, "Oh my God, I'm going to do this."
Yeah, and then you hear like the eagle sound, and then
it's actually really good.
Then he like leaps. He comes out of the animus.
I actually really like the scene a lot, though.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's phenomenal. So just the momentum that he builds up is fantastic.
Straight through the glass,
this last second
in the nick of time. Yeah, in the nick of time, amazing.
So I love afterwards, they're like interviewing the students and the teachers. And at the very end, Mr. Harrington is like, "Yeah, I'm just glad we did this because I couldn't bear to lose a student." Not again.
Yeah, not again. Yeah,
not again.
Before
it's like
the
way he says it is so serious, though. He's like clearly.
Yeah, like it's happened before.
Again.
But there's two moments that I really, really like when he's saving the people. So when
I love that too.
When the elevator falls and he catches it with his feet. And Ned starts getting all excited. And Ned starts getting all excited. And he's like, "Hey, whoa, big guy.
Calm down, big guy." Yeah.
And then after he saves everybody and he saves Liz and he's hanging upside down, he's like, and Karen's like, "Go on, Peter.
This is your moment."
Yeah, this is your moment.
It's like,
kiss her. And you're like,
"What do you mean this is your moment?" Like, who the fuck? Karen, this is a little unrealistic.
But
like way unrealistic, actually.
But it's funny because had they done that kiss, it would have been terrible. But the fact that like he thought about it clearly and they were staring at each other and then boop, like just yeah.
And I also love interesting. Tom did all of his own stunts. When you said like he had his legs on either side of the doors and he was holding it up.
Yeah.
They did that, like, so they actually had him do that and had it break and pull him down. And it was like a decent drop, like not at all the movie, but he like drops onto like a pad or whatever.
Yeah.
And like before he did it, he was like, "This is kind of fucking scary." And I was watching, I was like, "Yeah, honestly, like the fact that he had to sit there and like wait in anticipation, and they were just gonna drop him at any moment. It's like a thrill park ride." And he was like, "Oh god."
Oh, damn.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm respectable though that he actually did it." Like, because you don't have to do any of your stunts. It's Spider-Man. Anyone could be behind the mask. So it's like, it's really cool that he does it though.
And then one more thing I like. He's like, "Hey, are you really friends with Peter Parker?"
Yeah, as he's like dying. So then he gets back and the principal gets him and he's in detention. And we cut to Captain America. So you got detention.
But why did I write defeated death? Why did I write that?
Defeated death.
Yeah. Oh, because there's a line where it's the school news team again, and they're like,
Spider-Man
they defeated not Spider-Man, where they're saying, they defeated in the triathlon. And they're like, and also defeated death. The news team is so awkward.
It's great, dude. I think, and they're back in Far From Home too. Like when they do, I think they're in the opening montage or whatever. So anyway, Hannibal Buress or whatever, he's there watching detention. He also does not give a shit. He's like, "Hey, come back," or whatever. And
baby monitor protocol with the, what is that for?
Because it records everything he does.
Yeah. Oof.
Who is he arguing with about the best sandwiches? Oh, Donald Glover.
Yes.
Because he goes to find him. And then he's like, "Delmar's best sandwiches," right? He's like, "I like lemon blonde down on 52nd Street." He's like, "It's too much bread." He's like, "I like bread."
I like bread. But actually, before that, Spider-Man comes up. He's got like the demonic voice.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why's your voice?" He's like, "I know a girl when I hear one." Like, I'm not a girl.
I'm a boy. I'm a man.
And he literally just gives up. He's like, "Turn off interrogation mode."
Man.
Yeah, he's like, "Just turn off interrogation mode."
Yeah, he's so
And it's even funny. It's even funnier because Spider-Man's supposed to be the one in charge of this whole scene.
Yeah.
And then Donald Glover slams the truck.
Well, he's scared at first.
Yeah. But Donald Glover slams the truck, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like he's like, "You're really bad at this."
Yeah. You got to get better at this part of the job. So I'm sure you wrote it down, right? The line that he says, not the joke. That's not a joke, but he says,
To 2 hours.
No.
What are you talking about?
Where he goes, you're like the reason he helps him.
Oh, because he has a
nephew who lives in this neighborhood.
A.K.A. Miles.
Yeah, and in a deleted scene, he's still stuck to the car. It's really fucking funny because Donald Glover is just so funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
Still stuck to the car, and this like lady walks by with a shopping cart, and he's like, "Hey, please, I'm in distress," or whatever. And he's like still stuck there, and then he like pulls out his phone and he calls Miles, and he actually says. He says on the phone, he's like, "Hey, Miles, I can't make it. I'm going to be late," or something like that. He says the name Miles, which I thought was interesting.
That's cool.
But yeah, he also, he locks him. Yeah, he's like, "You deserve that." He's like, "Dude, I got ice cream in here. You deserve that, yeah. You can't leave here. I got ice cream. It's going to melt."
So, then we come to the boat scene. Because he got the information of where it was going to go down. Okay.
Yep.
And we get Matt, who is a.k.a. what?
That's his last name.
Oh, yeah. So he's... Scorpion.
Might as well be called Matt Scorpion. Yeah.
So he's Scorpion.
Matt Scorpion is what they were doing. Like that would be like
too on the nose with the tattoo, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think they ever really intended to do anything with him. I think it was
he was supposed to. He was supposed to.
In what?
So I don't think Far From Home was their original plan, but because we ended up getting Endgame and the blip and all that, they still.
But Spider-Man, why would they? You think they were going to do Scorpion as their main viilin?
No, side villain. They were also.
He might have been like opening scene capturing Scorpion type thing.
Maybe, but they were going to set up for. They're setting up for Sinister Six. That's what they've been trying to set up for. That's what Sony's been wanting to do for like forever, and it's like, chill the fuck out, you guys. Like, why do you gotta keep dipping shit?
Well, I mean, it should have been done by now, realistically, but everything kept failing and failing and failing.
No. Nothing failed.
No.
Andrew Garfield's movies didn't fail. Sony failed. Really didn't fail. That's what I'm saying.
You mean they didn't fail? Yeah,
the movies didn't fail. Sony just kept fucking it up because you got to be greedy.
Yeah, well, I mean, they failed. People didn't like them.
Whatever.
But they made money, so they should have kept going, you would think. But then again, I'm glad they didn't because I didn't want to see a Sinister Six solo movie. That is not something we need. No, what we need is just to have the Sinister Six.
Yes.
But anyway.
So, his tech. Fucking phenomenal, of course.
And yeah, well, the guy who plays Scorpion fucking the guy. He's the guy. He plays Nacho Vargas, something like that in Better Call Saul. And then he also plays Voss in Far Cry 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, wow, I forgot that was him. That's like really cool to see him in this.
Yeah, he's but again, fucking how naive and young you have to remember Peter is. He literally says, "Oh, this is so convenient. We have the weapons, the dealers, the buyers. It's all here."
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking setup. He doesn't realize it, though. He's just like, okay, I got to drive it to action. He's so...
Well, I mean, that's not really obvious.
No,
it's not obvious.
It's a little too convenient.
What do you mean the weapons, the dealers, and the buyers are all here?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's
no
what
shit.
a deal is.
Yeah, well, yeah, no shit, right? But it's still clearly a fucking, like...
It's not clearly a setup at all. Even as an audience
member,
member, you were surprised the first time you saw it. You weren't like, oh, this is clearly an FBI
okay, you know what?
setup.
You're right.
Yeah,
right.
like,
That's fine.
no one's thinking that. But yeah, it is a similar thing to... They do a similar thing here, where like in Amazing Spider-Man 1, where Captain Stacy's like, we were going to do a sting operation on these car thieves, and you fucked it up.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing here.
He still has amazing puns, by the way.
Fantastic action right here.
Yes.
The way he like comes in, uses the split web like multiple times to take out two guys at once, and like every move that he does here, he's so confident all of a sudden.
The smart assness that he has.
Yeah.
He literally is like, he's like, what is that he says to him? He's like,
the weapons deal fairy was like at 10:30. You guys just missed it.
Yeah. He also says something to Shocker where he's like, you know, the other guy was better at using that than you. He's like, you know, I'm shocked. Really, I am. He shoots at the other guy.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, I feel like this was almost like he felt really confident here because he had the other two where he like fucked up the first one. Then he got a little bit better on the second one. Even though he got like locked in the truck, he did catch him in the act. And then this one, he's like, I'm fucking got this.
Yeah,
I'm scouting shit out.
Yeah.
He had it all planned out like really well.
He's learning from his
If
mistakes.
not for that weapon, like, and honestly, I don't even think the weapon is realistically his fault.
No, it's not.
Like, he stopped it. Yeah. Like, he did his best.
You want to know something?
I think he did a great job here.
You want to know something I appreciate?
Me?
Yeah, sure. No, a villain who actually likes his underlings. You know that Vulture could have left and just left Shocker there?
Yeah.
But no, he flat out was like, he
They're
cut him loose.
a fucking duo.
Yeah, he cut him loose and he's like, meet me at the point, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he takes him. Like, which is cool. He wasn't like your villain where he's like, I'm going to shoot this guy. Fuck it. And I'm gonna leave.
We also get, you know, a little thing where he does like the web mine where it's like sticks there and the guy walks in front of it and it blows on him just like in the games.
Amazing.
And then...
by the way, this is when he does the other reload.
That's right, yeah. So he... You know, the weapon gets fucked up and splits the boat in half. And he goes ham.
I really like the scene, but I also now see what you mean by it can't be compared to the other two scenes.
It's a different thing. It's more just about the strength, if anything else.
For this, he does those webs. I fucking love the guy where he's like, yeah, let's go Spider-Man.
Fat guy fucks it all up is what I wrote. It would have been fine if he hadn't moved. Like, they could have gotten everybody off, probably. But
he sticks them together and they start to break apart. And then in this very last... absolute desperate attempt to save it. He grabs him, and he's
doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, well, you know, it's going, but that's purely because the webs can't do that.
Yeah.
Like if he had more webs, I think he could do it. But I think he is almost definitely the strongest on-screen version of Spider-Man. Just purely from that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, he also catches that car without flinching. I mean, so does Andrew Garfield. In the bus scene. He's watching on the video. He's watching. On the video.
Right.
Yeah. He catches it. He literally, without even flinching, he literally leaves like.
He also does something similar in the Civil War video that.
Yeah, it's the same video. It's the same video. It's the same video.
So he stops it, and then Iron Man shows up, fixes everything.
Yeah.
And.
I love the scene.
Look, Iron Man is definitely in the right.
Yes. Wait. Hold on. We actually skipped the scene. Because it doesn't skip to the Tony Man, the Iron Man scene yet. Tony Man, okay. It's actually he goes back to Shocker, being like, "I'm leaving." He's like, "Oh, that's it." Just running away.
Dives off the boat to him. By the way.
He does right on him. Which also show you how strong Vulture's suit is.
Yeah.
Because he literally takes that weight and just keeps going. It doesn't halt him or anything.
Commercial airliner.
But no. So
nobody can hear me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so they're back at the base.
It's a commercial airliner. Now laugh.
So they're back at the base, and Shocker tells him, or Vulture's like, "That's it. You're just leaving. You're done." He's like, first we had
But he doesn't. It's not like a classic like villain thing where he's like, "Oh well, fuck you." Then he kills him. No. He's like, "What about the high altitude seal?" Like he doesn't immediately go to, "I'm gonna blow your brains out for leaving." He's like, he understands it. Like,
he gets it. Yeah,
it makes sense.
And I have the feeling that
he's not really a full villain.
No.
Like he is. He's like what Walter White thinks he is.
Yeah. But so he tells him, let's do that. And the big setup for this is. You find out later, obviously.
High altitude seal.
Yeah, high altitude seals for something later. Anyway, so now we get to see on the bridge.
Okay, my one thing is like, what the fuck was the FBI going to do about the Vulture, though, realistically? Like, how the fuck were they going to stop the Vulture?
So, let's not forget that the Vulture was never in his suit right away.
No.
What really did ruin this was Peter.
Yeah.
Because Peter acted so early.
But the thing is, like, think about it, though. Vulture, what's his name? Adrian. He's sitting there. He's not a part of the deal.
No.
So they would have sprung it on them. He would have gone to the van.
And he would have gone away.
And he would have killed everyone.
Yeah, he would have gone away.
Or just left or whatever.
Yeah, he would have left. He would have gone away.
FBI is not enough for this. That's the only thing I'm not on the side of Tony is the way Peter even describes it. He's like, dude, this is some serious shit. He's got fucking giant vulture wings. They have Chitauri tech weapons. And Tony's like, I'll call the FBI.
So,
and like, he sent somebody to handle it. And yeah, Peter should stay out of it, but it's not enough.
Because
he should have handled
world
it.
Ending.
Or somebody should have handled it better than fucking the FBI. It's not FBI tier stuff.
So here's the thing.
It's not Avenger stuff, but it's also not that's like too low and too high. It needs to be somewhere in the middle.
So FBI
there's a little gray area there. That's where you operate.
What I'm saying is FBI, specifically in like comics and stuff, it's because it's a comic book world. They do have ways to stop like bad stuff, like really bad stuff.
But they don't in this.
No. But
not in any MCU. The FBI are shitters.
Nobody knew about Vulture. Like they didn't know who his non-Vulture suit was, so they were just.
I know that's my whole point. Is that but the point is that Tony knows of the Vulture and he knows he's involved with these guys.
Yeah.
So if he's gonna take down this Vulture-wearing suit guy and these Chitauri tech weapon-having motherfuckers. He's going to call the FBI on them? Like, he knows how serious it is. He knows. And I just don't think it was enough. I'm still on Tony's side in that Peter fucked everything up. And, yeah, he's right. He fucked it up. But, like, that's my only problem is that he should have taken it more seriously.
I wrote this down because it's funny. Have you seen that meme where they're sitting on the bridge? And he's like, if you even cared to really be here. And then he's like, he comes out of the suit. And then they cut to Tom Holland. They superimpose like his face.
Toby?
He's like, hey, yeah. And no, not Toby. No. It's like it's still Tom Holland, but he's like, oh my god, it's Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
dude, it's fucking yeah. Like I can't. Like I was just for some reason expecting that because I just seen that literally before I watched the movie.
But so I feel a little bit on Peter's side when he's like, you didn't fucking listen to me. I told you how serious this was, and then he's like, if you didn't care, you would actually be here. And he's like, I did listen. I called the FBI, but it's like. You called the FBI. That's like not the seriousness of this situation. You're not reading how serious this is. This dude is flying a giant fucking vulture suit and killing people.
Yeah.
Or willing to kill people at least. Like I guess he doesn't know that he killed the guy. But this is very dangerous. He blew up Delmar's. I mean, the vulture didn't do that, but his team did that. This is very serious shit.
But at the same time, don't forget that they also didn't know.
It's Chitauri tech. Like, that's like a Tony. Tony should immediately be like, holy shit, that's bad.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's not Tony's fault. Tony did the right thing because as far as they're concerned, and even Peter says it in the phone call, there's just a bunch of dealers. They don't know if they're linked with the Vulture. They're just saying it's a bunch of dealers, and they're trying to figure out where the dealers are getting the tech from. They don't realize that those dealers are working with Vulture. Even Spider-Man at some point say it. So they don't know the Vulture's going to be involved with the dealers. They're just trying to catch those dealers, assumingly they're going to catch them and then try and question them to get to where they're getting the tech. So yes, it's somewhat believable. But
you would think that
it would have had a little bit more backup.
If he took it serious enough that he would have looked into it, the minute amount to find out that, hey, the giant vulture guy he was telling me about is also linked to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's very, very obvious. And Peter tried to tell him, multiple times. And he was just like, fuck it, I'll call the FBI. Like, he did the right thing, but he just didn't do enough of the right thing. He didn't go far enough, I think.
Yeah.
But,
it takes away the suit.
Yeah, takes
we get that really popular line at this point where he's like, "Oh, if you're nothing without the suit."
Yeah.
Then we get the Aunt May scene. She actually has a good back and forth with him, but in a very young.
No, we don't get that. Oh yeah, we do.
We do. Yeah. And where she's like, you've been acting. She yells at him. She's like, you've been acting.
I know you snuck out here. I know you snuck out there. I know you sneak out every single fucking night.
And she's like, like, what's going on? And then he tells her, oh, I lost the internship. And she's like, oh, she goes into like full caring mode.
It runs in the family, I guess, of mid-conversation losing track of what you were originally talking about. Because she's like, oh, what? Like,
sorry. It breaks her heart a little bit because he's like, he's on the verge of tears. He's about to cry.
Yeah, he's fucked up.
But it's she's done in a very like a very aunt way where your aunt or your uncle are supposed to be like the hip, like they're not your parents, they're just more like your hip, like
Well, I mean, if they're that young, I guess so. It's more, it's a different thing.
So then we cut to Peter in school. Principal, do you know about the principal?
Yes, I do. Howling Commandos.
Yeah,
he's directly descended from.
Yeah, he plays his own. He plays his own grandson.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually really cool. It's really cool.
We probably didn't describe that well enough. We both know what it is, but I want to say. The principal is directly descended. It's like his Jim grandson. Morita? I don't know the name of the guy, but one of the Howling Commandos who Captain America worked with.
And he plays it's literally the same actor. Same actor. He plays his own grandson.
So, and then he's going to homecoming. He goes with Liz. He admits to Liz, and Liz is like, we haven't even talked about like it's Liz Allen. Like they did Liz Allen.
What do you mean? Oh,
it never hits me because she's a very different version of the character.
Same as Gwen Stacy. Oh no, not Gwen Stacy.
MJ.
No. Betty.
Oh yeah, but but they didn't really do Betty. They're doing Liz Allen here. But it's just like it's a different version of the character.
But I'm saying Betty is Ned's girlfriend in the second one.
Oh, that's Betty. That's Betty.
That's Betty. Yes, that's
Betty.
That's why she does the news.
Betty.
But I'm saying that's why she does the whole news thing.
Oh my god,
that's Betty. Yes,
I did not know that. Holy shit!
I said Gwen, but I meant Betty. Yeah,
that just blew my mind.
Yeah, that's Betty, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
Holy shit, that's fucking wild.
Yep.
Anyway, that's so it's Liz. That's just like
it's
wild.
crazy though. But it's funny
but the reason you don't think about it is because it's not really it's not Liz.
Exactly.
She has the name. It's kind of like MJ in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But what I like is that he admits to Liz, "Hey, I like you," and she's like,
"No, she says it first."
No, he doesn't. She doesn't.
Oh well, no. Well, he says like, "Oh, you're right." He says, "I like you." And she's like, no shit."
She's like, "Yeah, I know." Like, and then he's like, "Oh, you probably have somebody to homecoming." She's like, "No, I don't." And she's kind of like waiting. It's lingering. She's waiting for the ask.
He's walking around. He's like, "Do you want to go with me to Spider-Man Homecoming?" And she's like, "Yes, I'll go with you to Spider-Man Homecoming."
But it's funny because then he's like, "I have to walk."
Actually, that way.
Yeah, and it's funny because the moment they have each other's backs, they get all giddy and like happy.
He walks. I noticed. I don't know why I noticed this. He walks. He's like, "Yeah, actually, I have to go this way." And he goes like weirdly close to her. Like there's so much space in the hall, and he practically like bumps her. Yeah. I'm like, okay,
he does, which is really
watch
weird,
it, Peter. All right, you're not there
watch
yet.
Them hands. You're not. Flash.
You're not bumping uglies yet. And then he goes straight to me. He's like, "I need your help." Yes, and this is an adorable little montage. So fucking cute.
And then here it comes. Boom! Oh, my God. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, my God. I'm ejaculating.
I don't care what anybody says.
It's one of the best
It's one of the best. It's not even just that. It's one of the best scenes in all of Spider-Man, every Spider-Man. It's one of the best scenes in all the MCU.
So good.
Especially when it gets to the car scene. It
should have been so obvious. It should have been. But it's like, as soon as you get it, you're like, oh, my God, that makes perfect sense. This scene is perfect. It's a perfect showcase of everybody's acting chops. It's fucking weird. Of everybody's acting chops because he's super happy, super excited. Yeah. The door opens and then boom, it all sets in. He's worried. He's like scared and he's like so out of it, distracted. And like so distracted that he's almost disrespectful to Liz, bro. Yeah.
He comes out, she's like, she looks good, right, Peter? And he's like, yeah, she looks good. And then she's like, is that what are they called?
No, because he doesn't even finish the sentence. And then his dad's like, that's the right answer. Yeah.
And then he's like, what are they called?
Corsage?
Corsage, yeah. She's like, is that a corsage? She's like, yeah, here. He's like keeping contact with
And then the pictures, dude. And I know she goes over to the mom and they look at the pictures together. She had to have been like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Because he's literally standing there like,
yeah.
Like he's so
clearly
terrified.
They do know something's going on because she takes the first picture and the mom's like, ugh. Like,
She takes another but he's still just as bad as the other one.
Just as bad.
But anyway, they go out and he's like, I'm your chauffeur tonight or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, and you really don't have to do
know what?
That.
This scene, this twist is great, but the best scene is the car.
The car.
It's so good. And it's all Michael Keaton. What makes it, I know. I mean, Holland's great, obviously.
No, Holland's amazing.
But Michael Keaton is like, you cannot take your eyes off him. He is so
menacing.
like you're glued to him the whole time. You're like watching,
no,
and
you're,
all the
you're
acting,
under. Hey, whoa! You're
all
under
the acting in his face.
Yeah,
like you see him slowly.
Yeah, you mean the gears turning? Yes, yeah.
It's all in his face.
You're undermining Tom Holland.
No, I've said I'm not undermining him. I'm just saying like Michael Keaton is.
Michael Keaton's great.
Clearly,
but what's better is
like outrageous.
Again, we get to see just how young Peter Parker is because he can kill Michael Keaton if he wants to. He Vulture, he can kill him if he wants to. He could beat the shit out of him. He can have him arrested on the spot. He can have that right. But he's so scared of the mention of "I will kill everybody you love" that he literally just goes silent and he gets out of the car. Clearly scared though.
That's a really weird point to make because he's not going to kill him. He's never going to kill anyone.
No, he's not going to kill him, but he can have him arrested. He can tell Tony, like, hey, I know who it is, blah, blah, blah. Look into him. But he's scared. He's legit scared at the mention of I will kill everybody you love.
It's not, though, because I was going to say that. I would agree with you, but as soon as he gets out of the car, he immediately goes to stop him.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. This is what I'm going to get to next. No, he doesn't.
He really doesn't. It takes him 30 seconds?
No, it takes longer than 30 seconds. It takes... Look...
It's such a negligible amount of time.
It's really not.
It is.
It's
for
not,
the threatening of his family, it is such a negligible amount of time for him to go. And then he goes, I gotta leave.
No, what you're missing is when the sound cuts out and it's muffled, he's in thought the whole time leading up to the thing where the music's playing. He's completely
more in shock.
Yeah, and it's not even just shock. No, he's in thought. Like, he's clearly in thought. It's not just in shock. He's like, do I stop him and risk this? Or do I fucking, like, he's in thought. And then he opens it and he sees her, and then he's like, that's when it hits from when the music kicks back in, and he's already made the decision. He knows what he's going to do. But he's also going to be nice and go tell his, hey, yo, bitch, you're on your own.
So it is even less.
I mean, it's
so
not
you just
as
proved
less.
my point.
No, because it's not less time.
If that's the case, then it is 30 seconds. It's from the time that he walks to the time he gets in the door.
Yes, to us it's 30 seconds, but to him, in that moment of like, it is still shock. You're right. But in that moment of shock, to him, it's a fucking lifetime. When you're in your own head, everything feels like it's taken longer, but it's not. To him,
but it also took 30 seconds.
Okay, anyways.
In real life.
Yes, in real life it took 30 seconds, but in his head, he just went through like a million scenarios.
Yes, but it was still like immediate. I was shocked by that. You would think it would be longer.
He has to because he's thinking. He literally, I'm telling you right now, his thoughts are like, oh my God, I showed up there, and he's talking about how he's going out of town, as in he's going to do another job. Like,
by the way, well, let's just move on from this.
Okay.
Yeah, he does whatever, but he immediately says to Liz, like, oh, I'm gonna give him the dad talk or whatever.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she exits the car, loaded pistol.
Yeah, loaded pistol.
He's like, listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
But even better, you say that, dude. Peter is so shocked and scared that he literally says, thank you. Bro, that line goes to show how menacing he is.
It's not that he's scared, but it's like, he's saying it. He has to in that situation.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's
such a great thing that
he says that.
He's like, and I just saved your life. Now say thank you.
No, he's like, and what do you say?
Yeah,
he's like, thank you. Bro, it's so good. It's so menacing.
Thank you, sir.
I like how they took this villain that was nothing, and made him absolutely menacing.
He wasn't always.
Vulture. If you hear about storylines, barely hear about Vulture.
B, if you're not including S tier, then yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's like a second tier for sure. So,
wait.
But I also love. We forgot to talk about it.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
He's such a dad. Like he's such a dad. Like you love him as a dad.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I'm like, this is so cute.
Everything he's doing is for his family.
Everything he's doing is for his family. Exactly.
So I like that the music drops while he's thinking, and then he opens the door, and immediately it's followed by MJ.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say, but she goes like, Ned's like, oh hey.
Yeah, and then
she goes. Yeah. It's like she starts and she immediately turns it into a middle finger.
It's so good. He makes a choice to go after him.
Yes.
He says, Liz, I'm really sorry. You don't deserve this. He goes out to the hallway, lifts that fucking locker up.
Yeah, so
boom,
cool.
Suit. Very, very cool. I actually, you know what I assume? I assume he has at least 2 suits. One that he would keep at home and one that he would keep at school in case he ever needs it. Because, come on, for him to just suddenly have it there, I guarantee he has multiple suits. Just like he has multiple backpacks, I wouldn't be surprised if he has multiple suits.
So Ned saves him from the soccer. Excuse me.
Yeah, which he gets shit on, by the way.
Yeah, because he didn't get his shooters.
He couldn't get his shooters on time. The only thing that bugs me is, I don't know, you didn't go to like regular school, but in school when you're at a dance, not everybody's in the dance. There's people that are hanging out on the outside. There's people that are hanging out in the back.
of course.
There's people hanging out on the side. Nobody heard that, bro. He literally flipped a bus over and
but like,
smashed.
who cares? I don't need to see. I don't need to see a cutaway of someone walking up and then leaving.
I don't need a cutaway either.
Because they wouldn't like walk up and stay. They would walk up and be like, "Holy shit, I'm out of here!"
Run.
You know?
That's fine.
I mean, you can play it for comedy, but it's like it's not really necessary.
I mean, it just bugs me sometimes where it's like.
Sometimes you have to trim some of this stuff down.
I know, I get it. I do. Trust me, I get it. But it just bugs me. Like, I don't know. It was loud as fuck the way they played it.
He webs up Shocker.
Yes.
And then he goes and he has to steal Flash's car.
Yeah.
Such a weird thing. I feel like it has to be an intentional nod. There's no way it's not.
No, it is.
You know what I'm talking about?
What are you talking about with
what Flash says when he pulls up?
Wait, what is it?
When Flash pulls up, he's talking to the girl he's with, and he says, "No, I had to get us out of the restaurant."
Yes.
The Branzino wasn't fresh. I can tell when it's not fresh. Like, no way you just picked Branzino by accident.
No,
There's
no
fucking
you're right.
way.
It is.
Has to be. Which I thought was really great.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, but it's my dad's car." And then smash cut.
Smashes the bike,
dude. He's going straight off.
A genius to leave his phone in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, Happy's talking about moving stuff.
Happy's just such a dick, bro.
Well, he's like, I gotta move the old Hulkbuster armor, Cap's new shield, and Thor's magic belt.
Yeah, which is I believe called the Megingaro.
Yeah, he tries to pronounce it, but he can't.
Yeah, but I believe that's actually what it's called. I don't know if you know what it does. You know what it does?
No.
It doubles Thor's strength.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
that's important.
So then Ned gets caught on the computer. Well, he tries to call Happy, and Happy's like, "I don't got time for this shit," and he like hangs up. But then he gets caught on the computer and he's like, watching porn?
Yeah.
Out of all the things he could have said.
It's great. And then, Jesus Christ. Let's get through this. We're close to 2 hours.
But I already knew we were going to talk about it. This movie's still good, dude. It's still really good.
Well, we get the building lift scene. The classic.
Wait. Don't just skip over this because
what's to skip over?
Because, dude, how awesome is his acting in this, right? Zero concern that Spider-Man found him. He's literally just cockily, like, just having this conversation with him, right? Yeah. And then he's just like, "Oh no, I was just buying time. I needed time for liftoff." And then bam. But it's so good though. Like again, it just goes to show you Michael Keaton's acting is so fucking phenomenal. Don't fucking rush it. We didn't rush Amazing Spider-Man. I love this movie. It's like, especially
but this is a different scenario.
Especially these parts.
Peeking behind the curtain, but it's late.
It's very late. You're right. It is.
So,
oh my god, it's so fucking late. Okay.
Told you. It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, it's Jesus.
Okay, so anyway.
Anyways, we get to the thing and it's over the credits and then
so it's. I mean, obviously, it's fucking amazing. Tom Holland is amazing. This is fucking Homecoming.
This
whole scene is extremely Homecoming.
And it's like he's legitimately scared.
Good.
So scared. And then and then he looks into the reflection and it's half Spider-Man, half. By the way, comic book cover.
Yeah. Of course. It's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, it's in a lot, Spectacular Spider-Man a lot.
Yep.
Which Spectacular Spider-Man also does a version of this scene. Now that I think about it.
A lot of stuff does it because it's iconic.
And he gets out.
He gets out. He does that lift. Yeah.
No, but that's another point to show that like he's definitely the strongest fucking.
Oh yeah, dude. He lifts a whole fucking crumbling building. It's amazing.
Yeah. So what is up with him? Like, so he gets on the plane, right? What is up with him? Like, and it happens at other points in the movie too. Like when he's calling the Washington Monument, why is he like constantly like slipping? Like he's clearly sticking, but he'll like jump and land, and then it slides.
I think
like, that should not be how it works.
It is.
I think it's just a different version, but
it's showing you it's showing you the wind pressure. Like Peter's not in his element. That's not.
It doesn't matter. Like,
but it does though because
it doesn't.
It does. Even in the comic books, he can't stick to every surface. He can't. And what he's sticking to is this very smooth, almost like LED panels. They're not regular. Like typical like concrete wall. They're not regular walls.
He's sticking to a concrete monument and he's still slipping.
He is, and but he's slipping.
There's nothing. Yeah, but no, because he's fully contacting it and then it slides down.
To be fair, maybe
it's not a big deal. I don't care. I was just wondering why they chose to do it that way.
I just think it's showing you the power of how much wind he has against him. Like how much resistance he has against him.
There's no wind resistance when you're climbing up a straight tower.
Wait, what are you?
The monument, the Washington Monument.
Did he slip?
Climbing up it? Yeah, he like does a little like small little jump like he would do, and he lands, fully sticks, and then it'll slip down a little bit, fully sticking. Yeah, I promise you it does.
Maybe you're right,
it's just a little. It doesn't matter. I was just like, what's up with that? I don't know. I guess it's just they decided that that's what they were gonna do, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. That is
anyway,
weird then.
It's some like mass-produced arc reactors in there.
Yeah.
Also, the high-altitude seal is really fucking cool.
It's very fucking cool. Even better is the idea to fucking make a fake tracker that follows that they think is the plane.
Yeah, very cool.
Genius. He literally was gonna steal the whole fucking plane.
That's the tinker for you,
dude. Yeah, it's so cool though.
Yeah.
Like it's a really good plan if you got away with it.
So,
it wasn't for the meddling kids and his dumb spider.
Yeah. And then this plane crash is fucking really cool.
Very fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man saves it. Literally, he steers it.
And he helps for the most part, as much as he can. And then once you get down there, I love, just like we talked about, the best reasons to have mechanical web shooters. Basically Spider-Man, they get crushed or like fucked up constantly to make it more interesting. In this, he has to reload them, and he runs out.
He runs out.
He runs out here, and he can't save Vulture. He can't stop him because he runs out. I'm sorry, I'm burping so much. I don't know why.
Also, his spider sense fails him here.
Oh, for Vulture? Yeah, but I think that's because he's disoriented.
Yes.
He's got the tinnitus and he's fucked up. I think any version of Spider-Man, that would have been the case if they liked that.
But here's the amazing part of all this is this whole final fight, no suit, no special. This is literally all Peter Parker. Out of webs.
He's really just kind of a normal guy. Just like pulling him out of the fire.
It's fucking great.
But he saves his life.
Yep.
And then we cut back.
Oh, did you actually notice? This is just a small detail. Sorry, just to go over it. So when he goes to lift the thing up to save Vulture and his hands burn?
Yeah, and then he gets the sand.
He literally gets the sand. No, dude, it's smart. I don't know. It goes to show you that's smart.
There wasn't enough sand though, but I get.
No,
the
he
concept.
literally scooped a bunch.
There's not enough, but as soon as he does it, it all falls away.
No, it
it's
doesn't.
it does.
No, it all falls away, but except for what's between his fingers and the.
How much sand do you really think would be?
You don't need that much. You don't need that much though. I promise you right now. Go.
All right.
Next time
Okay. Let's go blow up a plane and let's have you pick it up with sand. No.
No.
Let's commit to it. That's gonna be our next video.
150 subscribers. We're blowing up a
plane. No. Next video, 100%. We're gonna blow up a plane and have Angel lose the feeling in both of his fingers for the rest of his life. Have 30-degree burns.
Whatever. He saves Vulture.
Anyway,
took a beating, by the way.
Yeah. So he goes back. I think he talks to Liz first before we get to he talks to Liz and she leaves and she's like, "Fuck you! I hope you figure your shit out, you stupid piece of shit."
Yeah, sure.
And Dad's in prison, and then we get this little round table scene
where they're like, "Oh, Michelle," and she's like, "Oh, my friends call me AJ." MJ,
yeah.
And
this is the thing I love about it though is it's not lingered on at all. She's my friends call me MJ. Next line.
Yeah.
And then there's no pause for the audience reaction or an audience laugh or anything. It's
just
like
I thought you didn't have any friends.
Yeah. It's immediate that he says it as well. I love that.
And then
bathroom kid.
Dude, yeah.
Dude, I love this kid.
Don't skip over the fact that she's into Peter. Like they very clearly show it here.
Yeah, well, at the very least, she's interested in what's up with him. She's already clearly starting to have suspicions as to why he's sneaking off all the time.
Well,
I think that they're clearly setting up that she notices anytime he leaves.
Yeah, she does, but she's still into him because
she says, oh, you quit this class and this class. Mm-hmm. It's I'm just very observant. It's they're setting up that she knows she's watching. She's paying attention.
But she still likes him though.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, bathroom kid. I just love this kid. The look that he gives. So first he washes out, then he washes his hands.
No look,
dries
by the way.
his hands.
No look, yeah.
And as he's walking out, he's like,
yeah, he mugs the
I
fuck
love
out
that
of
kid.
Happy.
I want to hang out with that kid. I want to go I just want to go have some food with him or something. He's amazing. Doesn't get enough credit. He needs to be in more big roles.
Even more funny, the line that I really like where he's like, "How long have you been in here?" He's like, "Long enough to be awkward."
Yeah. And so then he takes him to Tony.
Yep.
And there's a few things here. I love that Tony's like, don't you think it was the perfect tough love moment to give you the. It was, right? Let's just say it was. Let's say it was the best.
Clearly, it's kind of him feeling guilty because he fucked it up. Yeah. But even better, I like the line that he says to Happy. He's like, let me have a moment with the kid. And Happy's like, really now? And he's like, yeah. He's like, why don't you sit back? Set some boundaries.
Yeah. And
he's like, can I tail?
And he's like, let's make it a loose follow.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
Yeah. And then we're gonna set you up with right next to Vision.
Yeah.
Not big on doors or walls.
And then Peter refuses.
He does refuse, yeah.
But the greatest part of this is he's like, that was a test, right? And he's like,
oh, yeah, totally.
absolutely a test.
Yeah.
And then immediately after Peter leaves, Pepper,
dude,
who hasn't been in any of the movies.
It's funny how even when it's this tiny thing, it is like somehow a massive twist. Like you're like, what? Like it really was. It really was.
God. But it's funny because we haven't seen Pepper.
No,
with Tony forever.
She's been off doing Gwyneth Paltrow Goop for Netflix, or whatever the fuck she's doing.
But so yeah, she shows up and she's like, "Where's the kid?" And he's like,
"Oh, I love." He's like,
my God!
He actually made a really mature choice.
Yeah,
Surprised all of us. Yeah, it's like really blew my mind. Honestly,
yeah.
He's like, "Happy you? I mean, really, right? Yeah."
And then so she's like, "I knew you guys would screw this up." Yeah. And like,
Ring. He's like, "You still have it?" He's like, "Yeah, I carried with me everywhere for the last 8 years."
Can we talk about how?
Or no, he said since 2008, since Iron Man 1, which is really weird. I guess that means he got an engagement
that look
ring.
They both give him like.
You got an engagement ring like the day we met or whatever, like when we were first working for each other. I don't know, whatever.
But the amazing part of this is when they get engaged.
Yeah,
literally here, like, and they don't make a big deal about it. They don't make anything about it.
Tony, I mean, it's like, a big deal. He's in front of a press conference.
It's so funny because they kiss, and literally mid kiss, Tony's like, "What is it that he says?" I can't remember. He says a line to her, literally like mid kiss. He's like, while she's like has her lips. He's like, he says something.
Yeah.
And then, like, Tony's like, that woman, like, he also walk out and Happy throws in the ring.
Such a smooth throw. So,
and they walk out and then we get the ending.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Which is
great. We're just getting all of it out of the way.
Okay. I know we're trying to, like, hurry it up, but I hate the scene because he walks staring at the door. He literally walks up to the door staring at it. He turns around and immediately she's right behind him. Like almost like they were looking at each other, and then he turns around. That's not how it should have done. It would have been greater if she walked up, but almost how immediately he turns around and like the camera pans. It's almost immediate to the point where it's like she's been standing there the whole time. Right? It's kind of dumb, but then we get an amazing credit sequence. I actually love the way
homecoming credit sequence. And he doesn't give up his identity, which
it's because he saved him.
Yeah, I think it's both, but it also, I feel like there's a little bit in there of like, not wanting to, he doesn't want it to just be simply fucking Matt Gorgon gets some guys on the outside to kill him. Like,
kill him, yeah.
I think there's more to it. Like, he's still a villain. I don't think he's a good guy yet. I don't know. But either way, like, a large part of it is because he did save him, and he like has respect for him for sure. And then you get the second post-credit scene.
It's fucking Captain America.
And you wonder why you waited so long, or whatever he says.
So
like, sometimes you get to the end and you wonder, why did I wait so long?
What makes this amazing is the two videos that are used in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Are of like the other two videos, he's scolding the kids.
Yeah.
And this video is literally him scolding the fucking viewers. It's so good, dude. We literally got fucking trolled. It's amazing.
And then I wrote at the very end here, just an afterthought when I watched the behind the scenes. There's a cut scene where they're driving to Washington, and they pass by the aftermath of. I'm pretty sure it's Winter Soldier, unless they're talking about Civil War, but something, and they talk about like what happened. Like they pass by, like where the helicarriers went down.
Yeah.
And they talk about it, and they mention it, and they talk about Captain America and all this shit. It's really cool,
dude. Yeah,
it's just really like a nice little nod to that, the fact that it happened. And of course, they would be passing by. It's in DC.
Yeah.
So it was cool. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, this is a great movie.
So it's a great movie for me. This is a solid 8. Solid 8 for me.
Yes, that's a good rating.
Yeah.
I think
it's funny because I rated the first Amazing Spider-Man. I rated it a 9.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, it's a better Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Both of those are better Spider-Man movies. This is like, it is much more a high school comedy.
Yeah.
That happens to star Spider-Man, and then they do great work with all the Spider-Man stuff. But it's like it's not focused on Spider-Man origin becoming Spider. Like you don't get all of that. You're just kind of like thrust into it, and it's more like the comedy and like happenings of Spider-Man.
Yes, this movie is as much Spider-Man as it is Peter Parker.
Yeah. So it's a very different way to look at it, and I still love it. It's still great. I just, in retrospect, I prefer. And I think it's also maybe with time now, you're not as jaded to the fact that like, watching the origin story again and all that. It's like with time, it's like I can go back and watch The Amazing Spider-Man and be like, I love this.
Yeah.
Even though it is the origin story again, I've had enough time where I haven't seen it rebooted again.
Yeah.
And like this, when it first came out, was so like, I was like, oh my God, they're not doing it again. It's so fresh. It's like, we're just diving straight into it.
Same, actually.
But now in retrospect, I do wish we got to see all of the
I'm not joking. Stuff. Same thing. Literally, as I was watching this, that's the one thing that I said to myself. I was like, I actually really wish we got to see what happened with Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Because seeing the
he would have been hot. Like if Aunt May is that young,
probably
he would have been a hot, strapping young lad.
But it just sucks because it's like you can't see this Peter Parker being like, "Oh fuck you, Uncle Ben," you know what I'm saying? You can't see him.
Or like weeping next to his dead body.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's and it's like I would have loved to see that, but we didn't. So, oh well.
Yeah, you didn't really get to see him become a Spider-Man and go through all this stuff. It would have been really nice, but who knows? Maybe No Way Home will be a prequel. It's all the marketing has been bullshit. Like it's all just
a whole different movie.
Yeah, it's literally just a prequel of the first 6 months of him being Spider-Man. That's it.
Yep.
No interesting villains. It's just him stopping petty crimes. That would be great.
Gain more churros.
Yeah. All right. Well,
that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, listening. Stay tuned, subscribe, and leave a like if you enjoyed.
We're plenty more coming.
Yeah, we've got Far From Home coming, and then No Way Home. What?
Far From Homecoming?
Did I say that?
No.
Oh,
I'm just saying, it's just...
We have Far From Home coming soon.
Yeah, there you go.
And then, we plan to have No Way Home out either the Sunday after it comes out or that Monday.
Yep.
So we'll have that up ASAP. We'll talk spoiler-free about it, and we will also have full spoiler thoughts on everything.
I can't wait, dude.
And we'll be having a special guest on to discuss it with us.
Yes.
So, yeah, stay tuned.
I'm excited to have a third person. We're going to see how this is going to go.
Yeah, third person shooter.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Shitty joke. Turned it off. Bye.
Bye.